Welcome, Night Owls, to the Book Club After Dark podcast, an inviting moodland podcast, and I'm your host.
And I'm Michelle. We break down fantasy, romance, and thriller novels.
All things enchanting, intriguing, suspenseful, and maybe a little spicy.
Each episode features intimate discussions on captivating stories, character breakdowns, fan theories, and more. And this is your content warning. This podcast contains mature themes and discussions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Episodes include explicit language and descriptions of mature romance, as well as depiction of violence and other intense subject matter. This podcast is rated R for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
And going forward from here, as always, there will be lots of spoilers for Onyx Storm. There will also be some spoilers related to, not fully for Quicksilver, but there will be some relationship to Quicksilver as well. So the hope is that you've read Onyx Storm and Quicksilver.
So let's get cozy because the best stories are told after dark.
This episode, we will not have a drink of the episode because this is a bonus content episode where we are interviewing some of our friends in the bookstagram book talk community, which is awesome. So without further ado, tonight you will be hearing from Steven, you will be hearing from Tegan, you will be hearing from Valerie and Natalie. So we couldn't be more excited to bring this episode to you. We had a really, really good time filming this. Yeah, it's, a 2.5 hour plus jam-packed episode.
What you can expect is the question, what was your favorite moment on Onyx Storm? Which scene hit you the hardest? Who was your favorite character in this novel? And then we played a nice little game of Fuck, Marry, Kill. And then what did they think of the gifts of Zinal? And then theories for book 4. That includes a geographical reference of where they think that we are going in book 4, as well as what their thoughts were on Quicksilver by Callie Hart, which is the novel we are covering in our deep dive.
Welcome to Book Club After Dark. This week we have another surprising interviews episode, and we have Stephen Walker joining us at the Stephen Walker joining us tonight. So thank you for coming along and joining us for this Onyx Storm. Hopefully we get to those questions this time because based on our interview we had with you, it never actually occurred. So we're going to try to get there this time. And I'm Danni.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Steven. Hello. Thanks for having me. Well, I didn't know if I was supposed to say that or not, but I did. I'm a part of the intro.
I gave you the pause because I was like, maybe he'll say it, and he did. And so
hey, we're on the same wavelength.
Perfect.
Right now. Perfect. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to chat with y'all. I really admire y'all and your podcast in general. I think it's very valuable. And today, I'm going to be super boring and stick to your script. So no off the cuff, no squirrels. Just, hey, I will answer your questions deadpan. Go. Totally kidding.
I just don't feel like that's on brand.
I have my lemonade.
It'll disappoint all the listeners.
With the pinkies up.
We
just have a couple of questions. You're just inwardly fancy. You're of the Fae court.
Yep. I'm fade up. Word. But yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to chat with y'all.
You've been on. I have a question that's not on our list of questions
we're
already. So let's just
we're already deviating from the list you sent me. I came prepared. You didn't. I'm kidding. Go ahead. What is the question?
The question is, you're like kind of a podcast pro now. You've been how many other podcasts have you been on? Do you know your official your count?
What's my body count for podcasts?
You've gotten around. Yeah.
Oh man, well, today's never mind. Shh. I don't remember. Like 5? It's not that many. I've had a few for my Patreon. So we'll just say less than 10, but more than 1. Something like that.
Sounds like a good time.
Because it's been the same people several times. So I feel like it's like 6 different people, maybe over 10 podcasts, but not over 10 different podcasts. Feel me?
I was doing the math in my head. Okay. Took me.
So I don't know if that makes me a pro.
About to loop
Y'all
around.
Are the pros. Y'all have a name and a website, and I don't have anything. I'm just a me with a shitty phone, not a phone, a camera. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. What is this? A computer? Good Lord. But anyway, you were going toward specific questions that you had planned. I love your shirt. My goodness, I just noticed that it says Hogwarts.
Yes, it doesn't. Oh, it's difficult to see. There she goes.
Yay, let's
Hogwarts.
Freaking go.
What was your favorite moment in Onyx Storm?
When it ended. I'm just kidding. I think my favorite part was when they went to the island of the Santa, where they were handed shitty gifts, like this was in the backwoods or something.
Zinal?
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, a box, cool!" And then somebody else got like a tape player, and then somebody got an old shirt that someone's grandma made out of human hair. I don't remember all the gifts. And then, so you're going through all the funny stuff, like and then somebody gets shot in the heart, like this is the beginning of an Ed Sheeran song. Took an arrow to the heart, ha ha ha. It's a joke. Okay. moving on. And then,
Not just someone.
the
Traeger.
he was so
Who also owns a
memorable.
line of grills.
Line of grills. What is this, a Nelly song?
No, the Traeger grill. You know, the Traeger, the brand name. The one.
Labicio
You guys don't know
Grill.
about
Yeah,
Traeger? No, like barbecue.
No, and we get that. I get that part. Yeah. I was mentioning this.
Okay.
We were talking about this. Yes. Oh yeah, I got one outside because I'm a man. I grilled on it earlier. So that was my favorite part. The backwoods Secret Santa on the island of Tortuga or wherever it was. That was really funny. And then it was funny, and then it was like, oh snap, this just got real. And then they had to stand there and say thank you as the dude bled out on the floor. Like, what are we doing here, fam? That was funny.
Yeah, and poor cat. I digress. I just
Also, the cat.
Yeah. I've never felt more for a fictional character that is a side character.
Cat
before.
is
She just gets
overhyped.
burned left and
The cat
right.
is overhyped. Like it's a Twilight film.
Oh.
That offended somebody.
Oh.
The cat is a footnote in the book.
I mean, Twilight was definitely overhyped. Come
Yeah.
on, Twilight was for sure overhyped. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that.
It's okay. I'm going to be the reason your podcast gets canceled and you don't have to meet people in public. So there we go. Yeah, I thought the cat was a
An
footnote.
introvert's dream.
Yeah, the cat was a footnote. It was in there like 3 times, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's the cat." But
It's about
You mean
broccoli? Are you
Yeah.
talking about broccoli?
yeah, that's what you're talking about, right? The cat's name is.
You're
Broccoli.
coming after broccoli?
No,
No, Catriona. Cat.
Oh,
Zayden's ex-girlfriend.
I thought you were saying the
Traeger's
cat.
girl.
Zayden Traeger.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the gift cat.
Oh.
You can see where I'm going. Well, you can see the confusion from my part because you said cat, and I'm thinking the kitten, broccoli, and I'm thinking that's overhyped. So you see, okay, my bad. Yes, that lady was upset.
so we didn't mean cat, the character. Okay.
She was upset that Traeger died because she was like, "Oh, I want to get over Zaddy Spearmint, and I can't now because my home dude that I was gonna bang later just got shot in the heart." Right?
When you put it like that, I mean,
It was her that Traeger was going to help her heal in a relationship. So now she's probably going to go into this defiant, painful timeline. And maybe that's
which
a good
she's
setup.
already been in.
She's going to
Yeah,
resurface.
she's already
maybe
lived
she's going to
that.
sink even lower. I don't know. That does suck for her. Traeger, when he died, I was like, "Oh, I don't even really know who you are personally. I'm not even really keeping score. So I don't really care." It didn't hit me. You know what I mean?
Okay. What about when Quinn died? Because she's also like another side character.
Yeah, I was just so yeah. Here,
Okay.
I was expecting someone of big status and character to pass away. I thought Dane was
Preach.
going to sacrifice himself and that was going to be his character arc. Instead, he just said, "Hey, look in my eyes," and the women go feral, and that's his character arc all of a sudden. But I thought somebody else was going to die, but apparently that's next book. So, I mean, whatever. But there was nothing on the
Right.
line in this book. My favorite character died, and that was one that I met in this book, whose name is Theophany. Smash. There was nothing really on the line in this book.
Right. No,
Okay,
I agree.
so-
It was a solid middle book. It
Mhm.
developed kind of the story, but not really. They kind of fucked around in the islands for a little bit, and Venom are still a thing. Zayden is still having his issues.
We have
and
no new
Violet's still trying to
answers.
save him. Like there wasn't really right.
Same questions.
Some.
No answers. New questions,
Some.
actually.
New questions. We now have new questions. Where do you think we're going next book?
Okay. Well, that's a broad question. I don't know. Are you asking me for like where we're going geographically? I think we're going to the area where the Irids live at some point. But here's my theory. Here's my theory about the Irids, and let me know what you think. So at the end of the book, Andarna leaves, right? And that's a sad moment. That's probably the saddest moment in the book for me because I like Andarna, and she just broke the bond and skedaddled, as the kids say. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And then, like a chapter and a half later, she comes back. I'm like, okay, what was the point of you leaving and causing all of this sadness? Hey, we're just going to come right back and then yell at Violet for someone not to burn her like we know what you're talking about. The theory is this. I think that she's been gone way longer than a few weeks in the book. I think she's been gone for hundreds of years, maybe who knows, just a long period of time, because I think time works different for the Irids. Perhaps they live in another dimension. And the reason I can back this up is because if you remember correctly, Andarna's early on power was that she could pause time or at least slow it down severely for Violet. So I think there's something to do with time, and she's been gone a long time. Perhaps she's more mature. She hasn't grown in size because I think there's some specific terminology that alludes to the fact that she's still the same size when she comes back. But I think earlier in the book, they said that her growth was going to be stunted anyway, so I don't think that's a loophole. I think that'll be fine. But that's my thought. What do you think?
I agree.
I
I
agree
definitely
too.
think there's some serious validity to that theory. I saw that theory it was either on Reddit or on it's one of the things at some point where someone had said mention of that talking about time. But I think logically, it already made sense because to your point, how did she gain all this knowledge, sever this bond, and come back in like a couple weeks?
Why?
It
Yeah.
just doesn't, the ends don't tie for
Well,
me from a storytelling perspective. There's got to be like, with the mystery of the Irids, there has to be so much more that occurred.
Yeah.
there.
Her leaving was like a cheap thrill. The fact
Yeah.
that she comes back, like, oh, that was kind of pointless. Why did you do all that? What was the point of all this?
Right. Which I don't think Rebecca as a writer would do that. There has to be, I think, book 4, like you're saying, I think there's going to be, and maybe you're not saying it's going to be in book 4, but at some point in the later 2 books that are supposed to come out, I think we'll find out what happened in that time period that Indarna was gone.
Yeah, so I think we'll go to the land of the Irids or the dimension of the Irids, wherever. Because another point that could actually back this up is they never found the Irids. The Irids found them. They just kind of showed up, and I believe they came out of the water. Remember that part?
They appeared on the beach, right? They
but they
he,
kind of
appeared
came out
on the beach. Yeah.
So maybe they are like a
and then when they disappeared.
Yeah, I don't think they live in the same realm, dimension, whatever word you want to use there. So I think there'll be a whole lot of Violet going there. Maybe Xaden's already there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Xaden. But I think there'll be like a council meeting among the Irids to try to do something or other, because there's we don't know much about them and we need to learn more. And I think the Irids may help them try to alleviate the venom, or at least, I don't know that you could, every answer in this book basically says you cannot cure venomness or whatever. The Irids said that, Jack Barlow said that. I don't know, but maybe.
What did you think of the ending? The ending in general, like with Xaden and Violet's last chapters.
I thought it was too quick and it pissed me off.
Okay. Valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
That's also it's a good book when you're like, oh crap, it's over already. You don't want it to be like, oh, when will this piece of shit end? It ended too quickly. So I think, did we talk about all this in the podcast that I did with y'all?
No. I don't know that we got that far.
We didn't
I'll be
talk.
fair.
We didn't talk about
anything. I
anything.
don't think we even talked about the book.
Oh, we didn't?
all.
Okay, yeah. That's what that was our problem. We just had a good old time. But another thing, and I think this is an editor just being an asshole, but at the bottom of the page, at the very bottom is when the book ends. So that's on purpose. It has to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because you turn the page expecting, okay, there's
several
more, right?
chapters like this.
Well, that's the end of the book. You turn the page thinking there's more, and it's just blank. You're like, you got me. But I would like to know more about the wedding. I want to know about the 12, was it 12 hours? Yeah. I want to know more about the 12 hours. What happened? Daddy, did he go full venom? There's a theory surfacing right now about how perhaps cruxed himself into the wing he gave her, because there's some clues into what, maybe that's the thing. Maybe he preserved the best part of himself in an object like a Horcrux and then just went full venom to go do some other stuff. I don't know. And I don't know who the other venom brother is either. People were saying it was Dane, and I'm like, there's no way it's Dane. That's just theories. No
also,
signs
did
point
you read
to
the
Dane.
book? Because there's no way.
Yeah.
Literally 0 signs. And also, there's been a lot of theories. What are your thoughts on people saying that it's Liam?
Liam's dead. He's not coming back.
Dead. That's right.
He did. He dead.
That's just people trying to bring Liam back. And I looked into that, and it was just like one italicized word, but in context, he is dead. I don't remember exactly the whole thing it is, but I remember after researching it, like this is the Bible or something. I remember looking into the Greek of this. After researching this, I discovered that in context, he's dead. He's not coming back. Even Rebecca, which I don't know that I trust her in interviews because she can say whatever she wants. She said he's dead. And the reason she killed him off is because war sucks sometimes and people don't come home. And there was a specific interview where she talked about that, which I wanted more of in Onyx Storm. I didn't have my heart broken like I wanted it to be broken.
Right? I had the same reaction because in Fort Wing and Iron Flame, like a tearjerker moments, I was like bawling.
A lot was on the
Onyx
line.
Storm, I was like,
big stakes.
What is, and
these were easy outs.
I didn't get an emotional reaction.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Whenever what's the sister's name? Mira. Okay. Whenever she got her neck slit by Theophany, smash. Whenever she got her neck cut by Theophany, I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. That comes out of left field. She's going to die. I knew she wasn't going to die. But the fact that she was easily brought back from a neck slit, I'm like, man, this is a Disney movie right now. Everybody comes back to life. No one's dying. Nothing's on the line. No, nothing bad is going to happen. But the only reason I said that is because
she easily came back for you?
Yes.
I mean, it was it was like a chapter later, right? So
the minute they started,
I mean, she's bleeding out at her throat. It's gonna have to be quick, y'all. Hello, like if you're gonna come back from that, it's gonna have to.
No,
be
my
quick.
point was the fact that she did come back. I thought she was going to die, and then it would have been like a real, oh wow, what is going to happen? But the minute we go to this next chapter,
I was gonna be
and they
pissed.
start same, but that's what I'm saying. Like in book 1 and 2, they kind of set up for those types of things to happen, killing off characters. So I But the minute you turn to the next
And
chapter,
the follow through of it, yeah.
right, and then you turn to the next chapter and they already start working on her. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna drag out for a couple of chapters, and then she's gonna get healed. And that happened. And then Dane is like, oh, look into my eyes when you talk to me, or whatever he says, and that was his moment. So
Look at me.
yeah, look, right,
Eyes on me.
Eyes
eyes
here.
over here, buddy, or however he probably didn't say it like that. Get your eyes on me right now. So that would not be good. But I don't know. I thought it was a cop out.
Okay, fair.
People are gonna hate me from this interview. Why is he so bitter from this book? Is he okay?
No, I agree. Onyx Storm was not my favorite book at all. It's actually
Yeah, we rate them. We both agreed that it was not our
What did-
favorite
what-
of the three, which I know we're gonna get a lot of hate for that too.
What rating did y'all give it?
Like on like a Goodreads star rating, or
Yeah,
like
star.
of a rating of the three books that are out.
Well, like a star rating. Yeah,
I
It's
give this
difficult to
all,
say
like,
because I think
3.5.
overall
that's what I did. 3.5.
I give it a 4, only thinking because overall I think it's a 5 in the sense of the series is a 5. Like I love the series collectively, and I think once it's all complete it'll be a 5-star series. But I do think this book did as it was intended. That's why I'm giving it a 4. It's a middle book of a series. It did what it was supposed to do. It created the bigger world. It gave us a shit ton more questions by developing that world. But am I wrong? Am I wrong for saying I like wanted somebody bigger killed off in this book, or
No.
is it just because I anticipated
No,
it? Like, am
that's
I
what I was
messed up
saying,
for
like,
that? I think I probably
I felt
am.
the same thing because they set the series up like a Game of Thrones style. No one's safe, and then you get to book 3, and everyone and their mother and the cat is safe. So it's like there's nothing on the line now.
Yeah, because
I
I thought
agree.
it was kind of not cheap, but I thought it was like you wouldn't have cared for Quinn really at all if it wasn't for Imogen's perspective.
Right? Yeah.
If you didn't switch POV and have Imogen's like perspective in that, the value, like you feeling something for Quinn is so low on the totem pole of what we've experienced from books 1 and 2. Yeah, I agree
I
with
think
you.
she killed off the characters
that-
that was safe to kill off.
Right. I
Which
agree.
means 4 is going to be brutal.
Right. So
Maybe.
who do you think is going to die in book 4? Like who's the one that's going?
I think Ree is going to die.
Yeah, who's not making it? Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Somebody brought this up in my Patreon Discord, but they said there was a big pivotal moment in the Harry Potter series. So spoiler if you haven't read that, but for you if you haven't read that. Anyway,
Also, that's on you.
yeah, it's been 20 something
Yeah, it's on
years.
you at
So
this point.
oops. So Hedwig dies in the last book in 7, right? And that was a big death because that was Harry's first friend in the series, really.
That one still
So Hedwig
still
was a big
fucks me up,
kill.
that
Yeah.
one. That one's
So
a tough one.
the person's theory was they're going to go the Harry Potter route and kill off Violet's first friend that was Ree. On the way to the parapet, they became friends, kind of a thing, and then they stayed together the whole time. So I don't know if it'll be this next book, but she will die.
I like that train of thought because so she killed off Quinn because on Imogen they started. I think she's using Quinn and Imogen's story as like a foreshadowing because that's they were friends at Parapet, and I think because she intentionally gave a POV chapter that she's next. So
Oh, that's another thing I forgot, which means that's another theory. I think the next book is going to be littered with other POVs, which I think will be exciting.
Let's hope.
I hope so.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, I hope that's true. Okay, let's play Fuck, Marry, Kill, because why not? I'm going to give you 3 characters from Onyx Storm, Steven, and you're going to tell us which you would like to fuck, marry, or kill
Okay.
in this situation. All right. So first up is naturally
Fuck.
Theophany. And then, well,
not
that's
skip a
we don't
beat.
even know the other
It
2
doesn't matter.
yet.
That's fine.
He doesn't need to. He knows what he wants.
Okay, fine. Give me the
Okay.
other ones.
The next one is Cat, which is not broccoli. Let me be very
Not
clear.
a cat.
Unless
Bosom
that's
cat.
what you want. Unless furries are your thing.
And then the third is
no
Violet.
judgment.
That
Yeah.
wouldn't be the pussy I'd be looking for.
So Theophany, Cat, and
Sorry.
Violet.
That's
Oh, wow.
my bad. This is not family friendly at
That's
all.
a disclaimer at the beginning of every episode. You're good.
Oh, good.
But yeah, Theophany, Cat, or Violet. These are your choices. So fuck, marry, kill. You decide the order of things.
Theophany fuck, cat kill, Violet marry. And I wouldn't have said Violet marry until this book. I think she has become a very powerful woman, and I think she's just going to keep progressing. I think she had the spotlight in this book because she knew what she was doing. She had a goal. She was attacking that goal. Her love interest, Zaddy, was the freaking teenage boy. I don't know what's going on. Why don't you love me? Kind of just, stop whining, boy. But she took the stage, and I really admired that. So she's a wife material, at least in this crazy world called Beth Gaiath, or where were they? What's the name of this place?
Navarre.
Rivendell?
Well,
Navarre.
they're on
Navarre.
Riverdale.
The continent.
The continent
Or
of
the whole area. I don't know if they give it a specific name to be honest, because each area is technically named after a
Yeah, it's
god, which
Navarra,
is what
isn't
was
it?
pointed out in the Isles. But
Oh, it's just called
Well,
the
Navarre's
continent.
part
Yeah,
of it.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
Amaralis is technically, if you want to get
The
specific.
continent's former name, but like everything with the Isles too, I don't know that there's a name of the
Like
whole.
the planet.
Yeah. Oh, look,
that
it
they're
says
Like,
on.
Why
yeah,
does it say Gulf of America in this book too? That's stupid. I'm just kidding.
Gulf of Malik only appears in the second
It's a
two
niche
books.
joke that one
but
person's gonna
You're
get.
right. The Bay of Malik. The next question I have, we already answered that one, which who was your favorite character? So Riddick was really Riddick.
Wait,
the
he didn't give us
far and away
our...
winner.
Oh,
didn't
I
Oh,
gotta
that's
give
right.
you.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta give you yours. All right. I'm gonna ask you both the same, I guess. Okay. Hey, fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
You got Dane, you got Riddick, and you got Zaddy. It's 3 easy ones, but think about it.
Oh gosh.
Riddick,
ahead,
I'd fuck
Michelle.
for sure.
Really?
Yeah. No, Riddick's a good time.
I
He's
mean,
like
I'm sure
a
he
good
is,
time,
but like,
non-committal time.
I feel like he means more than a good night.
No,
Yeah.
he's a frog. He hops from bed to bed. He
He's
is
a
someone
frog.
that
That
if
was well
you
put.
if you just need a good time to blow off some steam,
Hmm.
Riddick. The other two, they come with baggage. That would not be just like a one-off thing.
He puts the dick in
So-
Riddick.
Yeah.
And I'd get hate for this, but I'd kill Zayden and marry Dane. So
And no
That's just me.
touchy feely on nothing at all on Zayden. Just freaking shot to the face. Wow.
yeah, I'd make it quick and painless if that was possible.
Man, okay. Good answer.
I don't.
Good answer.
He's just.
Good answer. This is like Family Feud. Good answer.
I've
Screaming.
always liked Dane and his complex story. Zayden's like
We know.
a cliche at this point.
I'm learning your type in real
So-
time because you're a Tamlin sympathizer too. So
I am. I'm very much for the.
I can fix them,
So,
Dad.
what's it
Is that
called?
you? Have you said that?
Kind
I
of.
can fix them.
I'm not Ariel, first of all. So
You have legs. So well, I guess
I
she had
do.
legs at
yes, I do.
one point. Yeah.
My,
Ariel the
I was
fish
born
lady,
with
right?
mine.
Not
They
a
weren't
different
granted
Ariel?
to me by a. Yeah, I was talking about Ariel the fish lady.
Okay, cool. Not like Ariel from another book series. A court of thieves and ruins or
This-
whatever. I don't know. Some random thing. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay,
Danny. Say,
Danny.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
me? Oh, right.
Dane, Riddick,
Okay.
Zaddy, Spearmint. Which ones? There you go.
she's gonna
I
kill
feel
Dane.
like
I already know.
Dane would be like very vanilla, so like fuck is off the table for Dane. I just feel like he just wouldn't be all that fun. But maybe that's not true. We're gonna find that out with the Sloan situation because I ship them. But God, I guess I'm struggling here. I'm gonna marry Riddick.
Okay.
Marry Riddick. I feel like he's the most fun,
Yeah.
loyal to a fault. Gonna make me laugh. Doesn't have as much baggage as their other two.
That you know of.
And now that obviously leaves Zayden for fuck because I just said how vanilla Dane is. And I would kill Dane, but not because of why you think. It's because there's no other options left. And I would rather marry Riddick than Dane or Zayden. So there's not a whole lot of other choices there. I feel like I'm out of choices.
All right.
So it wouldn't be kill Dane. I feel like Dane redeems himself to a certain point, but also like not enough for me to put him in a marry or fuck category. Just saying.
Just straight to the graveyard.
Slides solidly. Yeah.
Okay.
Like if he died, I'd be like, meh. But if Riddick dies, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. So I guess there's
Yeah.
how
And
I
that's true love if you're sad when they die.
exactly. Okay. Scene overall that hit you the hardest.
Scene that hit me the hardest. Like I said earlier, everything was pretty, not necessarily predictable, but pretty, whatever. I don't know the word. Nothing really hit hard. Other than, I guess, Andarna leaving, that was sad. But then it became not sad when she came right back, which is why I'm trying to fabricate a theory of time. Maybe we'll go with Andarna leaving. No. Oh, so we'll go with that, yes. But when she was telling her story to the Irids, and they were just being assholes to her, like, oh, why? Why are you picking on Andarna? It was just, she was just telling the story. It's so cute. Like, oh, and then we did these things, and they were like, I hated that part. So that one, we'll go with that.
It's tough.
Mine was
because I was listening to it
Yeah.
on the audiobook the
Yeah.
first time around, and like the voices, and Taryn would jump in. She's like, "Don't ruin this for me."
Yeah, it was adorable.
And like the voice would change too.
Yeah.
It was really sad. Yeah.
But whenever she left and she broke the
That was sad.
bond, that hit hard. But then she comes back and then whatever. But in the moment, that hit hard.
I think that was. Do we know? I mean, I guess we know the bond comes back, but it's like interesting that the emphasis of the bond breaking is like so like 3 days. Steven, tell us all about your Tamlin era, because I feel like you're deep in your Tamlin era of events and things that you've got going on. So like, tell us about those.
Well, I haven't done any events yet, but they are on the calendar, so I have to eventually do them. But this weekend, so tomorrow, I get on a plane and I go to Danville, Virginia to play Cassian in a ball. That's going to be fun. There's like we're going to do like a meet and greet at a bookstore. Just anybody can come to, it's free.
Oh,
And then
fun.
there's like a whole scavenger hunt thing before the ball. I don't know. The lady putting it on is really sweet and she has grand ideas and I think it's going to be really cool. And she sold out her event, which is awesome. And then the following week,
awesome.
I'm going to
Wow.
Canada to play Tamlin in a ball. And I think I'm also playing a guitar and singing music. I have to get with the people. Nothing's very organized with that particular aspect. But I'm at least playing Tamlin.
Do you
And
know how to play the fiddle?
I have a fiddle, but I
Do you
can't
know
play
how to
it.
play the fiddle?
It would just be screeching away like
Aw, damn, that would be so
it would be like
Tamlin-esque, though.
it would be like broccoli falling down a cliff. That's what it would be like if I had played violin, just to bring it back to Onyx Storm. But so I'm playing Tamlin in that ball. That's gonna be really cool. Dude, the Airbnb that she has us in, all the cast is like a freaking, to a poor man like me, it looks like a mansion. I'm not gonna want to leave at all. There's like a pool. I don't think we can use it because it's Canada and it's very cold right now. There's so many rooms, but it's gonna be cool. And then I got, you know who Whimsy Gossip is?
Yes, I've heard of them.
They're another. They haven't really done any podcasts in a while, but they do independent films, fan films, and they're making a fan film for, it's called Chapter 65, which is the cauldron scene in A Court of Mist and Fury. And I'm gonna be playing Tamlin in this film, and it's gonna be really cool. So I'm excited about that. I always wanted to be an actor as a kid, so this is really interesting that I would land here. We'll see how everything progresses, but it's good experience for hopefully a bright future in similar things. And then later I'm playing Tamlin a couple more times at different balls. I think I have 12 balls, and that's not a medical condition. I mean like dances. 12 dances, 12 masquerade balls coming up, and it's going to be a good time.
That is interesting because I think last time we talked, you were going to like your very first thing.
Yeah.
Which I can't remind me where that first one
It
was.
was in Phoenix, Arizona. It was great. I
That's
played
right.
Dracula. I say I played Dracula. I dressed up as Dracula and then acted like myself and chatted with a bunch of people because it was like 60 people all together. They wanted to sell more tickets and it just didn't happen. But it was kind of good because it was very intimate in that I got to basically chat with everybody. And in that particular atmosphere, me playing a character would have been silly. I think people just wanted to chat with me because they were excited to talk to me. And if I was being somebody else, that'd be weird for them. Like, oh, I want to talk to Steven, not this caricature of a vampire. So that was really cool. But I dressed up as Dracula.
And you made a good friend. There's a bromance
Yeah,
situation that you have.
Yeah. And I get to see him tomorrow as well. He's going to be at this ball this weekend.
Yes.
Me and him.
The way I've been like watching this bromance develop.
Y'all need to interview him.
I was just gonna say, can you like put in a good word?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, Steven, what do we
You
think
just
of
went so monotone.
Quicksilver?
What do we think of Quicksilver? Okay, I'm on chapter 24 or 25 currently. I like the book. I think it's an interesting story. I don't understand the hype around Daddy Fish, okay, aka Kingfisher. I don't understand why he's like this.
Just wait.
He like, okay, so I'm gonna put you in my head
But
right
his
now.
just wait isn't going to be the same as our just wait because the just wait is the spicy scenes. I doubt he's like
I got to the spicy scene.
that's like
The
what does
first,
it for him.
The first time, is that what it is? The first time they come together.
That's not all there is.
The first time they come together, he makes her feel all good and stuff. He's a great lay, whatever. But afterward, he says like 5 words, and then he jumps through a portal like this is a freaking early 2000s rom-com, and this guy just is a freaking player, and now he's got to learn his lesson later in the book to stop treating women like shit. So he leads. He's just wham, bam, and scram kind of dude. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's laying there questioning and upset. This is not a character you want to model your life after. So it bothered me because I went into this book thinking, okay, people have told me this is Rhysand 2.0. But Rhysand's thing was he never had sex with Feyre until, they had other things going on. This was all different. So, rub me the wrong way. So does that make sense?
He's not a Rhysand. Yeah, no, it does. And if you compare his character arc to a recent character arc, it's very different.
He's already...
And you'll be disappointed, to be honest. They're not the same.
Okay. Okay. So I went into thinking that this is a Rhysand 2.0 because Rhysand, yeah, he had his weird moments. He was a kind of an a-hole in the beginning, but you could tell he's a nice guy. He really, really loves Feyre. It's very apparent in his actions. He's almost corny in love with her. And I love that. But this other dude, Daddy Fish, it's like, why are we going feral over this character? Yes, he's a good lay, but is that what we're going?
Just wait.
Is that what we're excited about?
He will get better.
But it's also classified, I've been told, as a dark romance.
He's also tortured.
Yeah, but so was Tamlin. Tamlin doesn't get
He's a
any
little bit
love from
tortured.
anybody. Tamlin was tortured.
Michelle loves
Yeah,
Tamlin.
me and
I
Michelle.
love Tamlin.
Okay,
I
Michelle.
do. We'll have our Tamlin signs.
Okay, Michelle. Yeah. Okay. Well, I like the story. I just don't understand the hype about Daddy Fish yet.
Do we like Saris?
Thareth? No, she's whiny, and I do feel sorry for her. I got to the part, so after they do it, and he jumps through his little portal to bail on her, the next day he's like, hey, we need to go to the pharmacy and get a Plan B pill. And she's like, hey, by the way, I got cleaned out as a kid. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. What kind of reverse Handmaid's Tale is going on in your city? Now I feel really sorry for her. So I want to know more about what's going on there. But I don't necessarily like
You just
her.
said she was whiny.
She is whiny, but I feel sorry for her. I don't want her to be hurt or experience traumatic experiences as a child. Perhaps that's why she's whiny. I don't know.
Her whole life was traumatic.
I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting that. I'm just saying to listen to her talk, and this is first person, so this is similar to my thoughts about Violet at the beginning of Wing. Which made it hard to get through the book because it was just her perspective. And then you fall in love with the character, which is a arc, by the way. I like hating someone in the beginning and then really falling in love with them, like a Nesta or a Violet, that kind of thing. I think that's a good writing for the author, as long as you stick out the series and keep reading. But perhaps I will, like the character Thareth as I continue the book. But currently, she's just a whiny little 23-year-old. And Homeboy,
Give it time. And
this was
also,
another critique of mine for Daddy Fish. He is over 1,000. He doesn't have the social maturity to have conversations about his past with Thareth. Fae men don't age in looks. Maybe they don't age in a brain either. It's just all one. I'm stuck at 30 years old and I learned nothing. That's what it sounds like. Because you would think that he'd have some sort of esque wisdom to ooh, I know what I'm thinking. But no, it just seems like a dumb young man.
You have his backstory yet?
No, I haven't.
I can't remember when he. Okay.
I'm also just being silly, but
I will say
there's small aspects of what I'm saying that is truthful.
No, I agree. Sometimes I've heard a lot of people complain about Quicksilver, saying that it sounds like Callie Hart took a bunch of different tropes from a bunch of different books and just kind of smashed them together.
That's these books. Yeah, that's what you go into this wanting.
Yeah,
you want that when you go into these books. You're not expecting something like, oh, this is like the new Lord of the Rings kind of. Yeah, you're not going to get your mind blown. That's why we read these books.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's why we watch rom-coms.
No, it is
or
definitely
chick
comfort.
flicks, those kinds of things. Like we know what we're going to get.
Genre for
I'm not comparing it to like Brandon Sanderson or anything like that. It is what it is. I would expect these tropes in this book. I would want them.
Right. Okay, fair. I think it will get better.
I think a lot of people DNF this book. Yeah, a lot of people DNF this book before they give it enough time. Of all the people that I've seen that are haters on it, they've all DNF'd it before I feel like it got to a point that made sense. If they would have just kept going, I feel like they may not have felt that way overall.
Yeah. Well, I just...
but I also never wanted to put it down myself as a reader, so I can't relate to them either. Yeah. I was already like, I need to know what happens with these characters. I thought it hooked me from the beginning when she's going after the very beginning. It was a high action scene. So everyone who's saying like, oh, it was really slow, I'm like, can't relate. She literally almost died in like the first 2 chapters. Like
people just say things on the internet not knowing what they're talking about. It's not a slow book at all. There's nothing slow about this book. I know I just shat all over Daddy Fish. But I really like the story because I was thinking, so whenever in the beginning of the book, whenever she was female Aladdin running through the streets and they were calling her street rat, she was trying to get bread for her monkey or whatever. Sorry.
I'm following you.
And then she gets captured by the guard. I thought we were headed toward this dude as the love interest because he was kind of nice to her along the way to meet the queen. So I'm like, okay, maybe this guy is going to be like a Chol or a Kale. How I call Chol from Throne of Glass. Like he's a guard, but he's kind of nice because he gave her some water kind of a thing. And they're going to eventually fall in love and this is Kingfisher. Whatever. And then they're going to take him to the queen and the queen is going to be like, oh, you're such a cool assassin. You killed these guys. I'm going to have you do some tasks for me. I was wrong, but I was also right because she falls through these sticky, slimy metal floors and then she pops up in another realm. And then that trope happens with different people. But I was caught off guard by the whole thing and her going through the Quicksilver, which was kind of cool to find out what they mean by.
How much of the Quicksilver how much of that do you know about yet?
I know it's quick and I know it's silver.
Because you're in what, chapter 20?
Chapter 25.
Okay.
I know, hold on.
It's like halfway.
No, I'm 2/3 of the way through. I have a third of the way left. I don't know, I guess a whole lot. I know.
Yeah, her chapters are longer chapters. Okay.
I know that Daddy Fish has it in his eye like a freaking eyelash when you're driving.
I mean, did the cover not help you with that?
The way that I For Pirates of the Caribbean, you know the one guy that doesn't have an eye and just kind of pops in and
Yeah.
out? Whenever he talked about the Quicksilver in his eye, I kept picturing that. It was bothering me. Just the eye from the guy in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, I just
Yep.
picture it as, you know how sometimes people like to have that little black spot next to their pupil and it looks kind of cool in their eyes. You know what I'm talking about? It's like an eye freckle.
Eye
You know what I'm talking-
freckle.
Does anybody know what I'm talking? Or am I just talking like an idiot?
Yes.
I'm the dude in the forest talking to the pigeons.
No, I know
right
what
now.
an eye
Okay,
freckle
cool.
is.
That's what I was
I
picturing.
haven't seen an eye freckle before.
Oh, okay.
You've never seen an eye freckle?
I have not seen a
Why?
spot
I guarantee you've
next
seen
to-
one. You just didn't know that you have seen
It's
one.
kind of cool looking.
I also don't like a lot of eye contact. Like I feel like it's intense.
Dude,
So I might not be
fall
like
in
the
love.
true
I fall in love with
evil guy.
everybody I make eye contact with. Just at the drive-through. Here's your chicken. Oh, I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. But it is intense. Yeah, I stare at right here. I don't stare at their eyes, so it makes it look like I'm staring at their eyes.
See, you can't see the freckles if you're staring right
Yeah.
there.
You guys don't look people in the eye?
I do, but no.
I mean, I
What's going
glance.
on?
Yeah, it's more of like
I glance, but then I feel like it's prolonged, and I feel like I'm like a dog trying to assert dominance at that point in time. So I just like I shift my glance. I can't. And if I'm trying
It's
to
like
like
a
talk
portal
and
of
I
the
make
soul
eye
thing, like
contact,
it
you
is a portal.
feel-
Like you're seeing the
Yeah.
insides of the
And then-
person. You're like, ooh.
yes. And then if I make eye contact when I'm trying to like talk a lot, I lose my train of thought because then I start observing stuff about their face. So I'm
Yeah.
like, nope. I
God
can't.
forbid they're attractive. You ain't gonna talk at all, are you?
Nope.
Just stand there and drool. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thankfully, I don't work with attractive people, so it's been pretty
Oh,
easy. in
wow.
that.
Hey, surround yourself with ogres and other types of people so that you can always have a thought in your mind. Well done.
That's exactly it. That's the
That's good
plan.
strat. But I really do like the book. I think it's a cool story. It's a unique story in a sense. So it has the tropes, yeah, but I like where it's headed. I just don't understand the hype for
I
Kingfisher.
liked it too. That's how I just wait a minute.
That's what everybody in my comment
Give
section
it a little bit more
said today
time.
whenever I was crapping all over him. But I'm also being, extreme a lot of the times just for a laugh and to be silly. Take it up a notch.
No, Steven, not
Yeah.
you. You're never.
Because
too
if I just
extreme.
like
That's
gave
not you
my
at all.
monotone thoughts, that would be boring and that would be out of pocket and out of character.
This is very true. This is why everyone wants you. You're in high demand. That's why you've got 12
Stop.
balls
Stop
on the
it.
calendar.
12 balls.
12 balls, there's a lot of balls.
Not on you, on the
Yeah,
calendar.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Steven, so much for joining us tonight. We always have so much fun talking with you about Onyx Storm and the other random tangents we get on when we speak.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be a part of Bacad.
I was waiting. I've been waiting this whole time for this.
Hey, I had that in my back pocket for the right time.
Not
and here we
disappointed.
are.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us again on an interview. Tonight we have Tegan with us all the way from Australia. Tegan, can you remind us what your handle is so everyone can go give you a follow?
Yeah, thank you. So it's Sorcery Book Finds on Instagram.
That's awesome.
Awesome. And
Welcome.
it's nighttime for us here where it's actually 9:46. So what time is, because it's all bright where you are. What time of day is it?
Yeah. It's like lunchtime. It's midday.
Awesome.
Then the full day for you guys.
Yeah,
so
you're
I'm
in
like
the
a whole
future.
day
Yeah,
ahead.
you're in the future. How is it over there in the future?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good day. Nice day so far.
Excellent.
All right. So let's start with our first question. What was your favorite moment in Onyx Storm?
Okay, I had some trouble coming up with something originally, but I've come up with something. Okay, so Rick, him being amazing, but my favorite part was, do you remember after the dragons left Andana on the island, and then Violet kind of went off into the forest, I guess, and Riddick went with her, and he kind of, I don't know, almost like confronted her about like what he'd just seen, like with Zayden and what was going on. It was a pretty intense scene, but I actually really loved it because I saw a side to Riddick that we hadn't really seen before, because normally he's just really goofy and funny, but he was actually really serious. And I just like that it was so obvious that he cared so much for Violet, and he was just like, don't just think because I'm always so funny that I can't be serious, or like I can't take things seriously or something. It was something like that. And I loved it. I liked genuine, serious Riddick. So yeah, I reckon that was my favorite moment from the book, because I was just like, yes, he's just so protective and nice. Do you know the moment that I'm talking about?
Face. Yeah. No,
100%.
exactly. We talked about that in a
Yeah.
previous episode where we were like, finally, he's being taken seriously. And that was the whole reason he wanted to be on Quest Squad. You know, even though he's joking, like, I want
Yeah.
to be on the Quest Squad. Like, he really wanted to be on
100%.
the Quest Squad because he was asked by Liam to look out for Violet when she was training on the mat and he left, right? So, like, Riddick takes this shit seriously. And that's like
Yeah.
a really good moment that amplifies that fact that he's verbalized it. But it's a moment in the book where you really get to see him kind of step up because he also finds out about Xaden in that moment. And
Yeah.
that's a moment for him to instantly make a different decision about the whole situation. And he doesn't. He's just like, no, you need to tell the rest of the squad, but also like, I'm still here for you, Violet. And it's a moment that he proves his value as a friend, but we knew this already. He's not just the class clown. He's not just comic relief, but yeah, that was an awesome moment of Riddick too. I totally
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed exactly what you said, just that we saw that serious side of him, but it was a nice serious side because it was just all protective. And I think Violet needed that too, because, you know, he's like, well, at what point, you know, like you need to create like a point in regards to like dealing with Xaden and everything. She was like, I don't have one, I don't know. And he's like, you need to, I'm going to help you make some decisions here. And I think she needed that.
Right, because she
Yeah.
doesn't see that because she's so in it. And she's like, I just need to save him. But he's like, no, this is really actually toxic. And I care about you because you clearly don't care about yourself. So she definitely needed someone to give her a reality check in terms of what's going on.
Yeah, reality check. Brilliant. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and I enjoyed that, seeing that side of Riddick. Yeah, for sure.
So our second question, which maybe you already answered this, but maybe you have a different one. Which scene hit you the hardest in Onyx Storm?
Yeah, so it was Andana leaving
Oh,
for me. I mean, there was several
cataclysmic.
moments, obviously, that were hard. When she left, I just kept thinking that I'd missed something because I was like, there's no way she actually left, right? Like that didn't just happen. And I think that was my feeling, is I was like, what do you mean? Like, because I honestly, as I was reading, kept thinking there's going to be a line here that's like, oh, she actually came back, or she turned around, or she's like, no, actually, I'm not going. But she actually should have left. That really shocked me, I think. That was, a lot, because I was like, oh my God, where are we going to go from here?
Follow-up question, since that was your choice.
Mhm, yep.
Michelle probably is going to predict my follow-up question for this, which is, how long do you think she was gone?
Oh my God, I've seen so many theories about this because, then fast forward, like, what was it? Like a couple of chapters or something, like 5 minutes, let's be honest. And then
Right, it was like no
and I
time at all.
going,
And I'm like,
oh,
wait a minute.
and I was like, what are you talking about? Why would you go and then just come back? I'm not good with like the theories and stuff, but of the few that I've seen, they say that they think it was years. And I'm going to say it was a couple of years because I can't remember the name of the dragon that she followed
Leo.
back. Oh, okay. Because he said it was going to take years, didn't he? So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with years.
Final answer.
Yeah. I'm going to go with years. Lock it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was, by the way, for those non-millennials listening, that was a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire reference for those who don't know this.
Oh my God,
that was
I'm
a very
so
subtle
old.
lock it in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire reference. No, we're embracing it. We are very proud millennials over here, so we're here for it. Let's all the millennial references forever. Hit her with the next
let's go.
question,
How
Michelle.
long-
We got to bring them in.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
Okay.
No, what were you gonna say? Now I need to know.
No, I was going to say, how long do you think it was?
I have the same train of thought. I think it was years too. At
I think
least
it was
2.
years.
Yeah,
Mhm.
at least 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agree.
Okay.
All right, next question. So, who was your favorite character in this novel? You've already mentioned Riddick. Is he your favorite or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I? Yeah. I'm gonna go yes. And for good reason, because we saw so much of him. Like, he was in the book a lot. I love a funny character. Like, it's just always vibed with a funny character in every book. It's him, 100%.
So
Oh,
for
how does
Quicksilver, is
nothing-
Carry On your guy?
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I love the funny, and I'm married to someone who is kind of like that, is funny and stuff. So I just feel like I love being a bit funny, cracking a joke. I love it.
And
The
there's more
funny side
complexity
character
to
is your
that.
vibe.
Right. But there's
Yeah,
more complexity to
absolutely.
that too, like which Riddick showed
Yeah.
throughout the like
Mhm.
honestly in this book, he was definitely one of the most dynamic characters. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Xaden, but he was so whiny this whole book. It was making me sad because he was just so
I didn't vibe with Zayden much this book. Is that
Right?
bad of me to say?
No,
I just
I don't.
he just didn't. I mean,
He was
I
very
don't know if-
endgame, which he's always
yeah,
been, which
he
I
was very
love.
broody, very, and I get why, like,
Right.
but yeah, he
And
just
he's got a
wasn't
death
doing
sentence
a whole
in
lot.
his mind.
He
So
just wasn't doing a whole lot.
It's okay. I feel you, Tegan.
I mean, I know he
We're on the
was,
same
but
page.
cool.
okay, so let's play Fuck, Marry, Kill, because why not? So I'm gonna give you 3 characters, and you're going to order them how you want, and then you'll give us
Oh,
3
no.
characters. Yeah, you'll give us
Okay.
3 characters. Okay, so like no pressure, but just like a little tiny bit of pressure, because if there's no pressure, then it's not
Oh.
fun. So just like a smidge of
All right.
pressure.
Okay.
Okay, so Riddick, obviously, I had to.
Yep.
Okay, then I'm gonna say Eric Greycastle,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna say Daenatos.
Oh, that's why. That's a hard one.
Why?
Oh, this could be so
She said why?
controversial.
You're gonna hit us with these too, so I'm just saying,
Okay.
like, you can torment
All
us
right,
as
I'm
well.
I'm gonna start with Marry Riddick because I just feel like I would vibe with him a lot. Okay. Yeah.
This tracks.
This next decision, I could get cast out by the fandom over this. I'm gonna say kill.
Okay.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble for that. Fine, Dane.
So that only leaves one left.
I don't mind Dane. Yeah, for sure. I like Dane.
So funny story
go
about
around with
Dane.
Dane, sure.
All right.
Oh
So
my
the
God,
funny
what?
story about Dane is that because of how he's with Sloane, they're like, "Oh, Dane is a daddy." This is what the internet is saying. Yes, your face.
Oh,
Michelle
okay.
just nods her head. She's like, "I'm not surprised. I've been a Dane sympathizer from day one."
I have been.
Daddy Dane.
No.
Dane has a ring to it. Okay, Daddy Dane has a
Oh
ring
my
to it.
God.
Mm.
Oh, not Daddy Dane. Oh my God, that's
That's
amazing.
that. It's you could put that on a t-shirt.
Daddy
Daddy
Dane.
Dane. Okay, I'm gonna think of a really difficult one for you.
Oh God.
All right, Garrick,
Oh God.
Zayden, and it's a tricky. I'm gonna say Riddick. Make it really hard. I don't even know how I'd answer that, so good luck.
And Zayden. Michelle, you go first.
Oh, of course. You answer first. Okay, so I would marry Garrick, and I already
surprised
answered
by
in the last
this.
one that he's just very loyal. He's stable. He has
You wouldn't
his,
marry Riddick?
No, I already said Riddick is a good time. He is someone that you just go for a
Oh.
good time. So I would.
No,
Oh, wow.
be serious.
Tiki too.
Tegan's
but
marrying
I
him.
see him. I know, but
He's my husband.
Right. Garrick is sarcastic and, he jokes around with the guys. So he has a sense of humor. But Riddick, because I have a goof. I also have a goof of a husband. And sometimes it's a little much. I know Riddick would be a little much. Grind on my nerves. So Riddick's a good time.
Okay.
So in a isolated
Alright.
situation.
So we'd kill Zayden?
I've
that what we're
already
saying?
said I love Zayden for Violet. Zayden is not my favorite.
Okay.
I'm kind of with you.
Right?
I'm kind of with you there.
I love Zayden for
Controversial.
Violet, but he is not my favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah. All right, let's hear it.
So I'm
What
gonna
do you
do
think?
I'm gonna do the reverse. I'm
Who
still
you
gonna kill
killing?
Zayden. I'm really sorry.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Garrick would be top tier. I feel like he'd be a good time. So we're gonna
I could have a whole
him in that.
discussion on Garrick.
Yes. Table this. We'll come back. We'll talk just Garrick. You and I, Tegan. We can have that
Honestly,
whole
just-
conversation.
Riddock and Garrick, you could just
Why choose?
have them.
Why choose?
Oh, yeah. It's a spinoff. Rebecca, are
right?
you listening? It's a spinoff. And anyway,
Why
so
choose?
Mary Riddick. I'm with you, Tegan.
Yeah.
Here for the laughs. Let's go long term. We already
Yeah.
know he's loyal. We don't have any questions surrounding, any of the other things. We know our guy Riddick is loyal. So let's marry him. We're gonna go with the fuck Eric, and then we're gonna kill Zayden. That's what we're doing.
Poor
Sorry,
Zayden.
Sorry.
He's having a hard
I
time.
mean, it's too
in
much
this book.
baggage. There's a lot of baggage happening.
Right.
with Zayden.
Riddick is the only one without baggage.
He's been through a lot.
honestly.
He's been through a lot.
Okay.
Nothing.
I mean-
Riddick.
So next question. What are your theories for book 4?
All right. So I've been pretty open, talking about this a lot, but I'm terrible at theories. I'm just a mood reader. I just read for the vibes.
Here for the vibes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just
Love it.
You could probably write a plot hole like this big into a book, and I'd be like, where? So
Tegan is our people.
I don't pick up on these things. I'm sorry, but okay. I've read a few theories, so I've kind of along with a few of those. I think definitely there's going to be something to do with Violet Compass that she was given that's broken, because it's obviously not broken. Like it's going to be like a Jack Sparrow moment or something.
Yes.
And then Satan with this box or, thing that he's got to deal with that. Surely there's got to be something to do with that. If he still has it, does he still have it? I do think
Interesting.
the bond between Tarn and Segale, I think that's broken, because I know that a lot of people talked about that end, and that's why he's like recovering. That made me cry thinking about that when I read that theory. But I think that bond with them is gone. I'd like to know your thoughts on, somebody thinks that the whole next book is going to be those missing 12 hours. I don't think that. I think it will just pick up
Interesting.
from where we left off. And I think we'll just piece together what happened in those 12 hours. I don't think it's going to be a whole book, the missing 12 hours. But it was an interesting thought.
Yeah. Do you think Dane is a part of why she asked Imogen to wipe her memories? Because I've heard that too.
Oh, God, I don't know. I think I'm not 100% convinced that there's something not going on with Violet's brother, Brennan. I think I've just heard so much of people like, there's something going on, like he's behind something, or he's secretly evil or something. I'm not sure if it goes that deep. Like, I don't know if he's secretly bad, but I reckon she might have been trying to keep it a little bit from him, because there's so many question marks around him, because I don't know. He just gives me a little bit of
like the Naolin situation.
Yeah, like, where is he? Like no one's talking about it, but where is he?
Mm-hmm.
Did he actually die? And then there was the whole thing with, wasn't it on his hands, like with runes or something? What's going on with that? What's the deal here? I don't know. I feel like there's more to him. So I definitely think, we know that someone's going to die in the next book. I mean, Rebecca's has said that, hasn't she? Like someone is going to.
Who do you think it is, though?
I don't know.
We hope it's not Riddick. We're so scared that the reason she like brought him so close to her.
Yeah.
I'm so scared. But like, I also do not want to accept this as fact. So I've placed all of my cards in the Rhiannon bucket. I think it's Rhiannon.
I'm with you. I'm 100%. And it's not that I don't like her at all, but I
love her.
If I had to choose,
It's
I would.
It's not good.
Sorry. I would rather it be her than Riddick. Yeah, 100%. I really, really don't think it's one of her dragons. I hope not, because
ooh, I didn't even
I don't
think
know.
about that.
I've seen a
She
lot
only said
that are
someone you
like,
love. She didn't specify. Ooh.
I know, like a few people have talked about what are the chances that she's actually going to get through this entire series with both dragons.
Today I saw something that Taryn is the next to die, because the
No.
bond with Segale is broken, so there's no repercussions of him dying, because Violet is bonded to him. So technically Violet wouldn't die either. So if Taryn dies, it's just Taryn dying.
You want to know what else I saw? I saw a theory that Andarna is actually the first to bond her too, and it's not actually Taryn. So you know how there's all this stuff about like, oh, Taryn was the first to bond, and there's like several mentions of it in Onyx Storm. Apparently in Fourth Wing, in chapter 10, there's a reference that says she heard this voice that's like, hopefully you'll make it through presentation. You're going to make it. And it's supposedly Andarna, little Andarna, talking to her. There's a suggestion of it's like 2 sentences in chapter 10. Somebody went and dug this up, but there's a theory that Andarna is technically the first that bonded her, but because she's an Irid, her laws do not apply the way the rest of the dragon's laws do. Therefore, now that Segale is broken, Taryn is technically kind of in limbo, Andarna would be the only one. But then think about that. Then she has no dragon to fly or ride.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be...
So I don't know if that would work.
I feel like it's going to be a moment where like it's low, and then she'd be like, oh, actually, you can ride her, and it'll be a big surprise or whatever. No,
maybe.
Honestly, can't you picture that? You'll be like, and then it's...
Yeah, but I also don't want Taryn to die. I would like her to be able to fly with... No.
There is no other character in the book that I don't want to die as much as him. He's my only like
let me ask you this
die character.
I'm sorry for this question in advance.
Oh my God.
If he died, do you read book 5?
I don't know. I don't. I'd need a year to recover, obviously.
I don't think he would die in book 4. I think he would die in book 5. I think that would be like one of the
I
last
don't want
things
to
that
talk about it.
happens. Then we get like an epilogue of like what happens afterwards, like a Xaden.
Stop
or
willing
Violet
this
Yo-Yo.
into the universe. Rebecca might see this, and she might. Rebecca,
We are
Don't.
not advocating for this, to be very clear.
don't
It's
do
a
it.
solid no.
Don't do it.
Do not do it. Don't touch
I'm
the
gonna be
dragons.
honest,
It's
like,
kind of like the
this-
dogs in books, right? Like, don't kill off the animals. Come on.
I would
No.
rather literally any other character die except for Tan.
Humans, fine. Whatever.
Yep.
Not the dragons,
don't-
okay?
Yeah, no. He's my boy. He's my well, he's
Yeah.
like a
The
daddy
grumpy
dragon,
man.
isn't he?
Yeah.
He's
He
definitely a grumpy
is.
old
He's
man.
like a dragon.
The grumpy
Yeah.
daddy dragon. Yeah.
And plus, I just love listening, like hearing him, even though I'm hearing him I read a Kindle, so I'm not hearing anything, but I'll be okay. Like reading it in his voice or that I picture as his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would really, really be heartbroken by that. But we also
I
know
would be
Rebecca
lost
Yarros
with
does
that.
not
No,
give
why
two
are we even talking
shits.
about it?
No.
Stop talking
we're
about
gonna
it.
Be done.
Oh my God.
We're moving on. We're going to the next question. We're done with this. I can't.
You briefly touched on the gifts of Zinal. So, was the gift that stuck out to you the most, or one that you have the biggest theories on what it means?
And let us know if you want to do a quick recap because we'll list them real fast, which might be helpful for the audience too. So Mira is gifted wine. Marin gets 2 orange tunics. Dane gets slapped across the face. Garrick receives a rusted steel bucket. Eric receives a fractured mirror and he cuts his thumb. Xaden receives an empty glass box with pewter edges. Violet gets a broken compass on a chain. Air quotes. Riddick receives a kiss on each cheek. Kat receives a golden necklace with a ruby. Drake, the orange kitten, broccoli, as we know. And Traeger, unfortunately, Tyr receives an arrow through the heart. All right, so there we go. So what do you think the gifts mean? And do you think they all have meaning? What were your thoughts?
I'll just like you listing them back through. I think they all do have meaning. The mirror that he cuts his thumb on, like Eric, I
Mhm.
think that's got to mean something, 100%. Surely. That's
Yeah,
just,
agree.
that seems mysterious. I feel like
Mhm.
that's got to mean something. Broccoli is just a legend. Really good addition. Strong addition to the
Oh,
group.
yeah.
Does that mean anything? I don't know, but it means something huge for me to read, and I like that. I definitely think the compass means something, 100%. That's got to mean something. So yeah, I don't know.
There's some theories
Actually-
that Rebecca
Oh.
would use the compass, but not in the way any of us think she would, which would be the obvious point of like, oh, it points to what she mostly values, like most
Yeah.
values. There's people who are like, Rebecca knows that everyone thinks that, so she's going to do something else, but maybe she won't. I guess we'll see.
I don't know what else you would do.
I
Yeah,
don't know
I guess we'll
either.
find out. Yeah, Xaden with the box, definitely think that's going to mean something. But I didn't really consider about this Garrick getting the steel bucket. I don't know. I'm not sure what that could mean.
Specifically rusted steel. It's interesting
Yeah,
to me that she would note that specifically.
I guess, I don't know. I hope we find out. I hope we do know what the go is. But yeah, Traeger getting the arrow, I did cry about that. And not necessarily for him, because I didn't know him that well, although he seemed really nice. But for Kat,
Mhm.
because
Poor
that
Kat.
was just
She's been through it.
every time I thought about her, and I thought she was a bitch in the last book. This book, she really turns it around, and I was very, very upset for her. What do you
Okay.
guys think?
I feel like Kat's reflective of royalty and that she always has wanted that, and maybe foreshadowing that she'll still be in royalty somehow since she receives that gold necklace with a ruby.
Yeah.
There with Garrick, I don't know. I just had a thought while we were talking about it now. It doesn't change who I think the brother is, but I wonder a rusted steel bucket is useful, but I guess it's not as useful as a fully functional steel bucket. And since meaning like Rebecca Yarros specifically said, the person who would be the brother is the person who feels like most not of use. So I wonder if that has any indication with that. And maybe it's Garrick that's the brother, but I just really
think-
don't think that. I think it's definitely Bodhi. But
I think it
Yeah.
kind of represents a little bit like he is the steel bucket. He's empty.
That's true.
He's overused. He's exhausted. He's to the point where he's like physically breaking down. So I think that kind of just
he is
it's foreshadowing
always- it's
him
reflective
being
of
the
he
actual
is the actual
the steel bucket.
Wow.
That's what I think. I could be wrong.
I didn't even think about
An
that.
interesting thought.
No,
No,
I feel
that's
like
an
that's
interesting
more
thought, yeah.
on. I think that sounds more in line. Actually, totally
Mhm.
does.
That's
Okay,
fair.
last question. Where do you think we're going geographically in book 4? If you had to guess.
Bloody
So we're in
hell.
narration now. We end in narration. Where do you think we're going from there?
I have no idea.
That's okay.
Do you,
Okay.
is there
Where would you want to go? Maybe that's a better question.
some, like, you know, where the wards end?
Yeah.
And you're into Venom territory.
The
I want to
Barrens?
go into, I want to go in there because presumably that's where Zayden's gone and his brother, whichever brother this turns out to be. Presumably that's where they've gone. I
No,
want
they're not in Eurasia.
hope we get more Zayden's point of view so we can find out what goes on. Is there a Venom school where they learn? Well, I think there is, isn't there? Because
They have
That's a
stages.
Violet
and-
look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What-
they
so
have
how do you
levels.
pronounce her
I mean,
name?
how do they figure
Yeah,
out?
I can't say that word without
Theophany.
stupid. But okay, so but she kind of talked about it a little bit. So presumably, like they would somewhere, like they would be converging somewhere, like their armies and whatnot. So I want to see where are they going? What's their structure? What's their? I
So
hope
we're
we
going
get Zayden's point of view.
Impart Zayden's
Yeah.
point of view to the Barrens.
Yeah.
I love it. I'd read
You
it in
like
a
split
heartbeat.
point of
really
view?
for
hope
that.
so.
I know a lot.
Yeah,
That's kind of
I'd love it.
controversial because some people they're
Mhm.
like, no, it needs to be one point of
do.
view. Split is like confusing. Do you?
I like
prefer-
split.
Split
point of
is
view.
Okay.
for me.
I think I've probably read more books that had view than none. But I think in order because Zayden and Violet are separated, I would feel probably like disconnect if we had a heap of time where it was just Violet and we have no idea what's going on with Zayden. I probably wouldn't like that.
Okay, so that wraps up our Onyx Storm questions. I'm going to hit you now with some Quicksilver questions because we're just going to do one to wrap things up. But
Okay.
Quicksilver has obviously taken everything by storm. It's already gotten picked up by Netflix. It's Quicksilver by Callie Hart. We are just starting our deep dive coverage of Quicksilver, so we're super excited. It was my pick, and Michelle will get the next pick, but this one was my pick, and I pushed her to read it, and she's like, it's a 20-hour long book on Audible. I'm like, you're gonna like it, I promise. And so there's my question. You did some segments covering, which were awesome. I totally watched them, which were all your different coverages on your Instagram, which if you guys don't watch Tegan's stories, that's where it's at because she'll go book by book. I watched all of her Crescent City coverage. I need to know what's going on. I need your perspective because you have such good viewpoints and I'm always here for it. What did you love about Quicksilver?
A few things. I mean, as like I've talked about before, I love a humorous character. Okay, and Carry On was just really funny. He had some really good one-liners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was good. But it just intrigued me that Kingfisher was a real asshole, like for a lot of it. And I was like, you are not acting like what I normally expect an MMC to act like, you know, like this isn't really typically how it goes because he just kept being not very nice. The whole, like, through so many situations, I was like, this is the moment he's going to turn it around. And he didn't. And I was like, why does everyone love this man? He is not nice until pretty far through the book. Then everything started kind of, it was like lifting the curtain and changing my whole perspective on him sort of almost right at the end. That's what intrigued me because I was like, you are so different to how I expect a lot of the male characters to, but also every main male character. By the time Kingfisher turned it around, they were all amazing. His best friend, what is his name again?
Renfest.
God, he's amazing.
Isn't he?
I love them all. I was like, honestly, if you put it to me, you'd be like, which one would you like to end up with? I'd say all of them. Make it a
Okay,
white
well,
choose.
we'll come back.
Why choose? Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
That's all right. My
We'll
pleasure.
have you
Thanks
back
for
on
having me.
again. All right.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Good evening. We are interviewing Valerie tonight, all the way in Alberta. Welcome back, Valerie. So happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very happy to be here today.
And what's your handle so all of our listeners and viewers can go ahead and give you a follow?
Perfect. Yeah, it's Valerie and Noda, just with an A at the end, so easy to find.
Definitely make sure you go ahead and give her a follow. So we're going to start with our first Onyx Storm question. So what was your favorite moment in Onyx Storm?
You guys killed me with this question because I feel like the whole book is my favorite moment. So I really had to think about this and I narrowed it down to 3, but I'm going to share one and it'll like peter out to the others, but I'm going to try.
But
really
now
hard.
we need all 3.
I know.
You can't say that.
So I have to, my top moment is when they were on the Isles. There were just so much, obviously, and I know that's majority of the book, right? That's where so much happened. I loved when they were in Hedidas, and they were meeting the triumph. Oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher this. The triumvirate. I don't know if it's virate. One of those words where I'm like
Michelle, help her out.
Oh, triumvirate.
triumvirate. See, thank you. That's actually so much easier than what I was
listened
saying.
to the audiobook first. So I got all the names down because
Okay.
I listened to the audiobook first. It's the only way I know.
Okay, so I loved, and I think so many people love this moment when Xaden is talking and they're asking him why he doesn't have a contract, marriage. And when he finally said, oh, I'm going to create a contract, but it's going to be like a lifelong contract. And the name is Violet Sorengale with 2 R's. Like, that was the start of my favorite moment. And I think I love that because it just brought out Xaden's sassiness and like his
Yeah, it was
love.
witty.
It was witty, right? And they were all shocked, like he's saying. And even Violet's looking
Mic
at him
drop.
like, what is he doing? And then he just doesn't care what people think. He's unapologetic in everything he does. And this was like one of those moments. But that whole scene in general, when they were there, I feel like you got the mic drop from Xaden, but then you got the mic drop from Violet with her figuring out the whole chocolate cake situation.
Your girl had a plan.
She had a plan. And there was this moment in there where when Garrick eats the cake, Xaden is so scared. Like, it's one of the first moments I think I've ever in the entire series have seen, or I guess read, Xaden be genuinely fearful of his friend. And the way there was this moment where he looks at Violet and you could just almost picture like pleading eyes looking at her to save him. You're the only one who knows how to fix
Like,
this.
don't let this be another Liam.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can tell his hands are tied. He has no idea what to do. He has, and I think it's one of the few times we see Xaden completely vulnerable and at someone else's mercy. So it starts like super good with him being super witty, but I love that whole scene because he is so vulnerable in that moment. Violet just is brilliant in this book, so she crushed it.
Yeah, she totally did.
No, yeah.
Go ahead.
It was definitely awesome seeing her rise up to the leadership role that she is destined to have. And then she gets to use her scribe powers that she was groomed to do, and still be a badass dragon rider. Yeah.
Exactly.
It was definitely a big character arc moment. And we knew that. What's crazy to me is we know this about Xaden. He's never not been this way.
No.
But for every time he does it, we're all like, oh shit. You're like looking at it like, here he goes. You're like all excited. But you're like, know that he's gonna do this. But every time I'm just like, it's like tropes that you read again and again, enemies to lovers, whatever, and you're just like still on the edge of your seat and you need to know what's going to happen. And Xaden has been this way. This is not new. He's literally been this way since Fourth Wing. And still, and Hedonis, to your point, I was like, oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, why didn't we know that already? We've known this. Like, it's just the way he's written and like his character. I agree with you. It's so good. It's so good. Chef's
it's so
kiss,
good.
For sure.
This entire book, I feel like Xaden could do no wrong. There was nothing. He was perfect. He was perfect.
Did you feel he was like a little bit mopey? A little mopey
Yes.
Xaden?
He was very
Okay.
mopey Xaden. Yeah, he was sad. Like, I genuinely, like, this book was his goodbye. Like, it was his love letter to Violet. It was he gave it his all.
Valerie.
Yeah, he gave it his all because he knew what was coming. So he tried to make every moment special.
I haven't thought of that in
No.
that perspective. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
in that.
No, it's not.
It's actually really
It's
devastating.
hurtful. It hurts me to
Yes.
hear this.
Yeah. Yeah. But I genuinely think like this is his goodbye letter. This is his.
Rebecca, don't listen to any of this.
Yeah, I know.
This
When this actually struck me, like, I think I had to read the ending again and I cried some more because I was like, oh my gosh. But when you look at it that way, because I read it the first time in excitement, like it's the first time reading it. And the second time I read it as if it was his love letter and it hit completely different. It hits completely different. So Danni, you might have to get it if we reread it from that perspective.
Oh my God. This is news. I'm digesting this as information. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, Valerie,
Yeah.
what have you done?
What I know it does hit a little. It's so hard.
Okay, we gotta go on to the next question. You're killing me. You're killing me. Okay. What scene hit you the hardest?
And Darna leaving when she goes.
Yeah.
There was so much grief in Andarna's character and longing. Like, she loves Violet, loves her bond, her connection to her rider, loves Taryn, thinks she's like this. She sees herself as a very special dragon. She knows she's very special. When Leovan comes and he's like talking to her, and you can just see like she so badly wants connection with who she is to her core with the other dragons, but then her family is here, like her found family of Taryn and Violet and Xaden and Sigil, like they're there, and it's just that you see the shift and like her wanting to go, and when Violet tells her you can go, like giving her permission, it was just, I sobbed. I was like, she's leaving, she's never coming back. You assume like she's never coming back, but that moment crushed me.
That's
So,
fair.
and then she comes back like just a couple of chapters later. So
I
how
know.
long do you think she was actually gone for?
I think she was gone for a very long time, actually. I think that being with the Irids healed or allowed her to regain her magic of stopping time.
Mm.
I don't.
Interesting.
So I actually think she was gone for a lot longer than we think, because they told her that she needed to be gone for at least a couple years, everything she needed. And I think she was gone in her time for a couple years. She came back bigger, more powerful, and more knowledgeable. And
Yeah, we don't know how big she is at all. That wasn't referenced at all, how big she is.
No,
That she's
but I
just
think
there.
when she returned, there was something about her that was surprising. And so I'm assuming it was her size, or maybe I don't know, but I think her ability to stop time, or maybe just Irids in general have this ability with time. Like maybe that is something that's very common with them, but I do think she stopped time, or they had the ability to speed time. So she was actually gone for what seemed like maybe a couple weeks in the book, or I don't know that much, but I think she was actually gone for a couple years in her time.
Okay.
Valid.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, we do too.
Yeah.
We also think that there's definitely something to that.
All right, so third question is, who was your favorite character in this novel?
I could say broccoli, like everybody else has been loving broccoli. Like originally, as I was reading it, it was Riddick, just because he had such a character arc in this. Like he really came. But
What?
but I have to go back to my, like, I think she will forever be my favorite character, and that's Violet. Only because this book reminded me of Fourth Wing Violet. I found Iron Flame Violet was not my favorite, and I was
Agreed.
worried we were going to get Iron Flame Violet in this book. I was really worried, but I feel like we got Violet with the mind of a scribe, where she really took her capabilities, her confidence is growing. And so I feel like we've really got this new version of Violet who's a leader, or learning to be a leader. And she was just brilliant. Like everything she thought of in this book showed how knowledgeable she was. She just surprised me every time. I'm like, how did you figure that out? And like, how did
like
you know that?
Cadotus, like you were saying.
Yeah, she just seems so put together. And even when they were meeting with King Cortland, and she charged of managing that situation, and her idea with Andarna holding one of his panthers, a whole scene is just so brilliant. She was just so intelligent. And I think we got a scribe Violet in this, and that was a really nice addition to her. So I'm excited for book 4 Violet. If she keeps this going and doesn't become Mopey Violet again, we might get some Mopey Violet, which is
Are we concerned with what happened at the end of this book that we could get Mopey Violet?
Obviously, she asked to have her memories erased. Obviously, Violet knows something that she knew she couldn't know. It was very intentional, because Imogen made it very clear, I did what you asked me to do. But
Do we think it had to do with Dane?
Probably. We know
Possibly.
that Dane is more powerful than we've expected, which makes me wonder if
Because of Sloane. She makes
Yeah.
that comment.
which makes me wonder if he has a second signet we don't know, or if his memory recognition is not actually as simple as he says it is. He's maybe more of on the intrinsic side, but because his dad is Colonel Ados, they know how to hide this very well. And so maybe he is more powerful. I mean, we know he is, but like maybe his memory recognition is more powerful than just touching. Like
Side
maybe
question. Do you think
Yeah.
there's another betrayer other than Panchek?
Yes.
Okay.
Who do you think
Yeah.
it is?
I think Melgren is one of them for sure. I've been suspicious of him from book 1, and I was looking
Same.
at my notes from book 1, and they always comment on his beady eyes. Every time Violet sees him, she comments on his eyes, and I feel like that's very weird. I don't know, like she's never said that he has a red rim or anything, but she always comments on his beady little eye. There's something there where I'm like, why does she keep talking about his eyes? That just seems so weird to me. So I think Melgren for sure. And the reason why I say that is because we know that magic requires balance. We know that has that precognition, or he can see the outcome of a battle. But we also know that Eric can see outcomes and futures. So is he a balance?
He's his balance. So he'd be Venom
Oh.
then.
So he'd be
Like he would have to be
Venom.
Venom.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Valerie, you're blowing my mind tonight. You
Yeah.
just dropped like 3 things that I'm like, what is happening to what I thought I knew?
But yes, I know. Trust me,
No, I'm here for it. I
This
love
book-
it. This is why we do this.
This book has altered my brain chemistry. I could not stop thinking about it for 5 weeks after I read it.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%.
It's
Agree.
still something my girlfriend
And then you like
I-
think about where it fits in the whole
100%.
line of the stories, all the things you thought you knew about the previous books, and yeah.
Yeah. So I think either Melgren is Venom, is working with, is something. There's going to be a shift in balance with him, and I'm wondering if Eric is that shift. I don't know, because we haven't really
Dane's dad? Question mark.
Dane's dad.
We don't know his signet
We don't know anything
at
about
all.
Dane's
Or
dad
his dragon.
we don't know anything about
shit.
him or his mother. I will say they are completely.
Mhm.
That
So
part.
there's nothing to know, which is why I was guessing, does Dane have a second signet? Is this dragon mother's? Is his mother alive? Is his mother a writer? There's something about his mom that we don't know either. And I'm like, that's really suspicious.
Oh,
that
it's
we
super
know
deliberate.
that we know none
Mhm.
about them. So he's high up there on my sus list.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
for
know
sure.
if he's full like rebel in the sense of he seems to want power so much.
He's always looking puffy and red, though.
Yeah.
He just
Mhm.
and is so highly emotional. Like he's
Yeah.
so pissed off. So now we're gonna play Fuck, Marry, Kill because why
Sure.
not?
Why not?
So we're gonna give you 3 characters. Michelle's gonna give you 3 characters, and you're gonna tell us what order you would like to put them in to the Fuck,
Right.
Marry, Kill categories, and then you get to hit us back with 3 characters of your choosing,
Okay.
as is only fair.
All right. So first one is going to be Zayden, of course. Second one, Bodhi.
Mhm.
And third one is Riddick.
Ooh,
Okay,
I don't know what I would pick here. This is tough.
I think I've got it. And it makes me still sad
Okay.
that I have to kill one of these. But obviously marry Zayd.
Really?
I would.
All right. Okay.
I don't know why, but that's where my brain went. It was like that gut instinct. I'm like, I'm going for it.
The man is loyal and he's a duke. He's also a shadow daddy. What's not to like?
what's not to like? Exactly.
Not here to judge.
It's true. Ugh. Buck would be Riddick, only because he made the comment about him fucking with a third
No.
year.
Third year.
Bodhi!
Yeah.
And this one
Bodhi!
really
Riddick is a good
devastates me.
time.
Yes, exactly. Riddick is a good time. This one really kills me to say that I would
Oh
kill Bodhi. But the reason behind that is
No.
that I'm really nervous for Bodhi in general. I think Bodhi is
Who's the other
strong-
brother?
It's him or Garrick. It has to be. Like it has to be one or the other. So then I worry he's always going to be chasing Satan's shadows. Not intentionally. It's almost like it just happens. Like he's always disregarded. And I have my own
What if we
theory.
got Bodhi point of view
That would be amazing.
in book 4?
I hope
I need
so
a
because
Riddick point of view chapter.
like
Yeah,
sometimes I
that's what
wonder.
I need Rebecca.
We don't know what Bodhi's second signet is either. He says he doesn't have one, but he for sure has one. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
but like feel for him. I mean, he's always in the right place at the right time. Always. We saw that in Iron Flame with Violet. He's somehow always there when she needed him. He just woof. Oh, here I am. But he always
Mhm.
just seems to get pushed to the side, and I just pushed him to the side as well. That's the only reason.
All right.
But I don't love it. It
Look
doesn't
fair.
feel good.
All right. Hit us with your 3.
Ooh, okay. I'm obviously curious about Xaden as well, because I was surprised that you guys said I would marry him. So now I'm genuinely curious what your guys' answer to that would be. And I will add Dane
Okay.
and Garrick.
Ooh.
Those will be my 3.
Michelle, take it
You
away.
go first this time. No, I went first the
fine.
last
Okay.
2 times.
Fine,
You can go
I'll
first.
go first. Okay, so Xaden, Dane, and Garrick. Is that what we're saying? Those
Yeah.
are the 3.
I know what Danny's going to pick. Can I answer 4? I know what you're going to say.
You
That's
think
pretty
you
fun.
do?
I do.
Okay,
I think
who? Okay, go ahead. Tell me, who do you think?
you-
Because I already
you
know
would
yours
marry
too.
You would marry Xaden, you would fuck Garrick, and you would kill Dane. Yeah.
It was a toss up on the fuck Mary part, but
Mhm.
yes,
Right. I know you would kill Dane immediately, so that's fine.
Okay.
you would marry Dane, and
Yeah.
then you'd kill Xaden, and you'd fuck Garrick.
Yep.
Dang, boom.
That was very good, you guys.
Can you tell we spent some time together? Just a little bit of time on this book.
That was very good. I'm
Yeah, I
actually
knew
really
it. I knew
happy
you'd
to
kill
see that
Xaden
you'd
for
marry
sure.
Dane, Michelle, because he's coming up for me again.
She's been Team
I knew
Dane.
my guy. I've been Team Dane since the beginning because
She has.
he is a product of his environment, and
Yeah.
he's not innately evil,
No.
and he's loyal. Now that
Mhm.
he's gotten his shit together and he stands right from wrong,
Yeah.
he's loyal.
I agree with that.
Are you a Tamlin sympathizer, Valerie? Oh,
Yeah, you are. Yes, me
I'm
too.
a Tamlin sympathizer because I also think he's a product of
Oh.
his environment. I think that guy
didn't
was
wanna
had
be a
shit.
lord.
He didn't want to be a lord. Then I don't think he actually killed Reese's family. I think that was his family. I think he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But of course, he's there. So you're guilty by association. And then, his family is killed, and then he has a curse put on him, and this guy just can't catch a break. So I do, and yes, he makes mistakes, but hurt people hurt people.
That is exactly it. He is
Yeah.
not true evil. He's
Oh my
understood, and my guy
Yeah.
needs some therapy. That's what he needs.
100%.
And it'll be great.
I would love to see a Tamlin redemption arc. I would love to see it. I don't know if we'll
I
get
read
it.
it.
Coming.
Not saying I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
totally would. Anything
But
about Akatar 6 at this point, my God.
My gosh, I know. We'll take anything, just like a little nugget would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So shifting gears, what are your theories for book 4? We've dipped into them a little bit, but what were your theories, or what, better question paired with that, theories, and what would you like to see, even if it's not a theory?
I'm going to really try to so I don't know if it's specific to book 4. I'm going to try and keep it specific to book 4. But
Go for it.
how do we know that Violet is a dreamwalker? We know this. I think book 4,
Let's talk about it.
she's going to she's going to learn this second sick with the help of Andarna. I think Andarna is going to help her with this. I don't
She's
know
the teacher.
how.
Okay. And Darna
Mhm.
is the teacher.
But I think, or just like helping her stay, like I think their bond is going to be different. I don't know how or why, but I think Darna being able to break bonds and reform bonds, there's got to be something there. Like their bond has
In the
has to
time
be.
she was gone with you.
So I
Okay.
do think she's gonna like hone in on her dream walking abilities through that. Of course, we don't know who the balance to that is. Is that the sage? We know there's a sage
Right.
who's the dream walker because that's who she's seeing in Xaden's dream. So I don't know if she's going to learn from this sage in her search for Xaden. Somehow they're obviously going to be interconnected, or if there is going to be something in her father's research. Or something Andarna knows. Like there's got to be, because the Irids knew about her second signet before Violet knew about the second signet, I think. They knew she was super powerful. So does that mean that Andarna will have extra knowledge about dream walking and what that means?
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Follow-up question on that note. Could it be Xaden that teaches her how to use her second signet?
100%. 100%. Because he's also an intrinsic, and we know that his is only a little bit manifested. Like, they still both have so much growth to do. Xaden gave her the answer to finding him. That was not a coincidence when he taught her how she's going to find him. They are going to communicate through her dreams. Really,
Agree.
the only bits of Xaden we're going to get in book 4 until maybe the end where they have I don't know if it's a battle. I don't know if somehow she finds him in her search. Like she knows exactly where he is.
Wait, a battle against him?
I hope
Girl.
not. I hope not, but not intentionally, because I think Xaden is going to work from the inside. I don't think he's going to. I think he's
My
going to be a
brain.
double agent. Like this guy is not
Okay.
going to fully venom like a sage because he still has his
Right.
soul. And the reason why this is going to take me on a whole other tangent, you guys.
No,
I think
please.
Violet
We're here for it.
I think Violet has a piece of his soul. She is
Horcrux.
In the ring, right?
I was hoping someone else was on this.
Yeah.
Yes, the ring is the Horcrux. I 100% believe that. Therefore, because she has that, I don't think Xaden could ever fully become like full sage, full maven, because I think at that point you have to give up your entire being. And if he doesn't have the entirety of it, can he really do that? I don't know. This is a question
Agree.
we may or may not get an answer to, Rebecca. Please give us answers.
Yeah. To be very clear, I'm not agreeing with the first part of what you said. I'm agreeing with the
Yeah.
Horcrux part.
And that's
there
the thing,
could
like,
be something to that. Yeah.
I think that they will see each other in a battle, but I'm not necessarily saying they'll fight each other. But somehow
I don't see that. I just don't ever see Xaden hurting her
Exactly.
or even being
but
able to
I think
hurt
he
her.
might, through his dream walking state, show her what's coming. And that their first meeting, like their first face-to-face meeting, will be in some sort of tense situation. But I don't think he will hurt her, but I think that's when we'll see his like double agentness. Like his
Right, because where
How
else would he be able to display that? That's
exactly.
fair.
Yeah. So I don't know
Because
actually.
too, and to add to that, Darna's like, I won't let them burn you. And so obviously what she's talking about is treason.
100%.
I'm not going to let them burn you, meaning I'm not going to let anyone set fire to you. I'm going to protect you because you're basically going to, it's treasonous. They know that you've known that Xaden's venom. So you don't
100%.
just jump to that level.
100%.
They know that you've known.
Yeah, and I think she knows
So-
exactly who else ran off. I think she knows where the eggs are. I think she knows.
Ooh, let's talk
All
about
of
the
it.
eggs.
She knows all
Why
of
do
it.
they need the eggs?
Bargaining tool?
With who? Deborelli? Or any
Who
of
has
the
'em?
Isles? Or
Who has the eggs and what do they need them for? Just hit you
Could
with
be
all the things,
Deborelli,
Valerie.
but I also think that they haven't encountered, is it the northern area? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a whole thing with Loyal and Xaden, Dune, or
Spill it. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
the time to
I
spill
do
the
not
tea
think-
because Michelle
I-
does too. She has a whole thing with Loyal. I want to
I
hear
do not
yours.
think that there is a cure for being bad. I think that has been said so many times in the book. There is no cure. There is no cure. There is no cure. I do think that if you viewed, Xaden showed that you can control it. He has shown abilities where you can control it and it gets a little bit easier. So I view being Benen's an addiction. It's all about self-control. It's all about which the Irids said. You cannot, there is no cure, but you can evolve. So I think there is something to that personal evolution. That is how you can do it. However, I do think Dune and Loal, they are the only two gods that have a lifetime of service. And when you become dedicated to one of them, we know from Theophany that she could be cured if she never gave up her dedication. There was that whole speech at near the end. She's like, why would I give up all this power?
and she gave her, yeah.
And so we know that being Venin is a choice and it's about power. Xaden did not turn Venin for power. He turned Venin for love because he was trying to save the people he loved. And I do think that is key because if you turn for love, there is something different versus turning for power.
Versus Jack Barlow. Right.
Exactly. And I think that's why Xaden also has a different level of control. If we know that Loal and Dune are the balance and they are of love and war, and we know that a lifetime dedication to them is an answer, and we know Violet is partially dedicated to Dune, could Xaden cure himself being dedicated to Loal? If he fully dedicated himself, what would happen to him? I don't know. But I do think we don't know anything about Loal, and I don't think that's a coincidence. They did not go
just
there,
gonna
and I
ask you
don't
that.
think that's a coincidence. I wouldn't be if the Irids there and they didn't meet them, like they intersected their journey there because they don't want them there. Answers are there. They don't trust them. Why would they? And so they intercepted their
I didn't
travel
think
when
they'd
they
be
were
there.
Where they showed
Okay.
up.
Where they showed
Yeah.
up was like
Yeah.
in
Where
a
they
really
showed up
random,
was like random.
but they were going to go to Loal. That was their last stop. So like, why did they intercept them? What does Loal have? Like that. Also, I do
Interesting.
think there's something there with Loal dedications but I also think Andarna and Violet had power on the Isle. They had magic. But I also believe that's because the Irid magic is different from the other dragons. I think they channel from the sky. The other dragons channel from the ground, essentially. So a part of me is also wondering, does Andarna learn, and this is like another theory, about how to channel from the sky, so she'll teach Violet how to do so, and therefore teach Taryn how to do so, making them almost even more powerful riders than ever before because they will have limitless power. And I think with limitless power, does that mean you're less likely to burn out? Do you burn out because you're channeling from the ground? Because once you channel more, you become venom. So does channeling from the sky have like healing versus the ground? So I also wonder, can
Okay.
Violet's power, if she channels from the sky, siphoned through Sloane, also be healing?
That was a lot. That you
Interesting.
That
just
was a
dropped.
lot. That was a lot. Like,
I loved it.
so I do
Yeah,
think
I
like it's
didn't-
all interconnected. This Lowell,
Mhm.
Irid, Sky, like there's, yeah.
The sky is mentioned so
Mhm.
many times.
Mhm.
Like, you have the power of the sky. Like, that shit's not on coincidence. It's not.
Mm.
And if
They're
light's
saying
balanced,
that
that
so
would make
intentional.
sense.
Yes,
Right.
it would, right?
So, because Earth, sky,
Earth,
that would be the
sky.
balance, technically.
And Darna being there, choosing Violet, they're all they're not coincidences. And Darna would, I think that's why Violet had power in the Isles, was because, and Darna wasn't channeling from the earth. She was channeling from the sky. It's a different form of magic. But
Agreed.
yeah.
That was so much, though. I loved that. I'm going to have to think a lot
I
about
know,
a
I
lot
did.
of
I
those
dropped a
pieces
lot
for
there.
a while.
Because,
No,
like,
but I think that leads us really well to our next question, which is, where are we going geographically in book 4?
I don't know, because I don't know where Xaden went. And
Okay.
this is part of I wish I brought my book so I could see the map.
I can hold it up.
Thank you.
Hold
There
on.
is a spot that it was when they were trying to decide where to go, they had suggested,
Oh, yeah.
was it
To the
north?
Emerald Sea.
To the
in
Emerald Sea, thank
Lucerys
you.
area. Yeah.
That was suggested. And Darna and Violet were, but what is there? Why has no one ever been able to survive that? What's hiding there as well? So book 4, I feel like the only way Violet is going to travel is through her dreams. And that's going to be chasing Xaden or trying to find him.
So she
I don't
stays
know.
in Erasure
I
all
think
of book
she's
4? Is that what you
I
think?
think so, because I think being a
Now
Duchess
she's the new Duchess.
is going to have different responsibilities and different. And I think Fen Ryerson has a lot of secrets, and I think she's going to discover them.
Absolutely.
I think she's
That
going to
part.
discover
I
them
hope
as a
so.
Duchess. Yeah, things
There
that
are
I
so
think
many
even
question marks.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
even think Xaden knows. And I'm worried that there's going to be more of like civil issues, right? Because there were already issues with trade and things. So I'm wondering if that's what she's going to be dealing with. And that's where Eric is going to help her manage with all the different parts, because he's royalty. He understands the politics of it
Question
all.
on
So
that. Do
Mhm.
we think the people of Erasure and Tyrandor support Violet?
no, I don't think so.
Mhm.
And I think this is where her Brennan is really going to have to step up in supporting it, and Bodhi,
Yeah, a
if
Soaring
he's
Gale of
there.
all people is gonna be their
Yeah.
Duchess. I don't know how well
I
that's gonna
know,
go
it's-
over.
And so that's why I don't know if she's either going to travel at some point because she has to escape because of maybe a rebellion within the rebellion.
That the people just don't understand. She
Mm.
sacrificed for them. Okay.
But I don't know if she's actually going to physically travel. I feel like she's going to travel through her dreams because Xaden is probably, I don't know if he thinks there's a cure. I don't know if he's given up on that hope. So where is he? Where is he safe? Where? Because now he probably has to continue to channel, wouldn't he? If he's gone to the next.
Do you think he would go to the Barrens?
If he's gonna go be a double agent, he'd have to.
Yeah,
Right.
this is true.
He'd have
Okay.
to.
Do we think that book 4 is only going to be Violet's perspective,
I
structure
hope
wise?
not. I hope not. I really hope not, because I need those Xaden point of views. So I like,
Okay, so you
I
would want
hope-
it to be Violet Xaden.
yeah, I would
Okay.
like it to be Violet Xaden, but I don't need a lot of Xaden, but I would need one like every 10 to 12 chapters. I would say
Just
sprinkle
like a
one in there.
check-in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, like just give me a little check-in. She gave us
That's how I
way
feel
more
about Riddick.
Yeah, she gave us way more point of views this time.
Mhm.
So I would hope we get an Imogen point of view, another one about her erasing the memories and like what her role is now. Because obviously she knows all
'Cause
the
she could tell us.
information. So I think she's going to be crucial in book 4. Someone Violet trusts, because I don't think she's going to trust very many people. even fewer. So I would like another Imogen point of view as well.
All right, now that
And a
we're on that
Riddick.
tangent of Imogen, follow-up question on Imogen. There are theories that point to Imogen's been wiping memories this whole time. Do you think that's true? What are your thoughts there?
I hope not, but I don't understand how she wipes memories. What does she have to do to wipe someone's memory? Does she have to be close by to them? Does she have to touch them? Does she have to? I think it's possible. Imogen was always someone I didn't trust. I remember in book 1, I did not trust her as a character. I always thought, I'm like, you're a little bit suspicious. And then I grew to like her in book 2. So I wouldn't be surprised if she did and if she was. But I think it would be,
Yeah, I agree.
I think it would be to protect Orisha at the time. I don't think it was like out of just
Same.
to do it.
I think if she did it, I agree with you. I think that we get really sticky with being able to have a solid plot line if we go down that road too far. So there's a lot of posts that suggest, oh, all of these instances are where she could have wiped Violet's memory. And I get nervous about reaching for stuff that may not be there.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then the whole part of Jasenia's first part of the book saying everything transcribed here is what we know.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean that couldn't be true, that Violet couldn't have had some memories wiped from Imogen. I just don't think it's the extent that Book Talk and Bookstagram has talked about. It may be one or two like little things here or there that kind of protect the rebellion kids, but I can't get on the bandwagon that whole sections and things like that would have been changed.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. It just gives too many plot holes.
And I don't see Rebecca Yarros as a writer who would leave that open like that to where that would happen.
No, she is setting us up for another big loss in book 4. But
who do you think that's going to be?
Riddick. She set him up. She set him up too much for us to fall in love with him. Just like Liam. Just like Liam. We fell in love with him and then
That's why I don't think it's going to be him.
Okay, I hope so, because I'm like, I love it. Like, I loved him as a character. He brought so much humor to the book. And
he did
diffuse so much tension in the book. It was so well done. And
truly.
So the only other person it could be potentially is Bodhi, if he was still, who knows if he's actually in the, I don't know if he's Venom or not, though. So that's a hard one for me to say. I think if she wanted to kill Mira, she would have already. She almost did.
Agreed.
So but
also that would be very like Rebecca Yarros to be like, oh, Mira almost died. Okay, now she's dead.
Now she's dead.
Like,
I mean,
what?
I do think one of the siblings is going to die. I don't think all 3 of them will be alive at the end of the series.
Our last question is, what do you think the gifts mean from Zinal? Did anyone stick out to you? Do you have a theory on any specifically what they mean?
Violet's compass is not broken. It's not broken. That is like the Jack Sparrow compass, like going to lead her somewhere. She just needs to realize it's not broken. And I think that will lead her to Aiden, potentially. It could lead her to the Irids. It could lead her to a number of things. Like, we don't know what it's going to. And I think it's going to be one of those moments where it's like, and then the answer is there in the time you need it the most. It almost reminds me of like the Harry Potter with the light, or with his thing. When you need it most, it'll come to you. And so I think that for sure. Zayden's is interesting. That I don't know what it could be, but I don't think it's a coincidence. And even he was saying, we're going to keep it. Like, he knew this isn't something you just toss away. Why? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what his could be. Like the glass box. Broccoli, I feel like was just put in there. I don't know if it had any like real meaning. The necklace is interesting. I think the necklace is a little interesting, but for Kat to be given it, could it be something of trade, like something of value it's needed for later on?
Or a royal.
Yeah.
And flyers, they get rubies when they graduate too. So it could resemble that she's actually going to make it to graduation.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. That's really good. Yeah. But the only ones really are the compass. That's like the one that stood out the most. And I remember when I read it, that was the first thing I thought. I'm like, this is not broken. It's not. And
I have a thought. I had a very random thought just now.
Yep.
What if she gets the ruby now because she's not going to make it to graduation and she's one of the characters we like that she's gonna die?
I feel like Kat would be an easy kill though. Like, I don't think enough. She said someone you like is going
Just
to
a
die.
thought.
And we know Rebecca
I do
Yarros
like
loves
Kat.
her.
But I will say I started to like Kat more by the end of this book, and that's what made me
like
so
her
I
a
don't
bad
think
lot.
when
enough of the
Stringer died.
fandom likes her though.
Yeah.
I don't think fandom likes
she's
her.
not beloved because she specifically said like someone you
Okay.
really love.
Yeah.
So probably not. But I don't know. That was my thought when you said that the Ruby is graduation. I
Mhm.
was like, oh, that would be very twisted of
It would
Rebecca
be.
to give it to her
Right.
now.
Not beyond
symbolizing
her.
she's not going to make it. Yeah. Rebecca, we know your tricks. We know what you're going to try and do.
Yeah,
Except we have
you know that
absolutely no
she's-
idea. And you surprise us every time. We don't know.
Like,
We're trying to figure
realistically,
it out.
we have so many beloved characters. Like, it's either, I mean, it's Riddick or Ree.
There was a lot of
Mhm.
foreshadowing about Eric too. Like a lot.
Yes, actually, yeah, because he can see everything. So
With-
he's like
yeah.
almost giving it all he's got right now. And he said something about, I'm going to die a writer. Like he has made, there
Right.
was something he has said. So I'm like, are you foreshadowing your own death? Do you know how you're going to die?
But he can only
already?
see his choices. I think that's
Yes.
critical to remember.
That's
'Cause
true.
he can only see like his choices. So he can see other people's choices too, and futures, but those are subjective. They can
Mhm.
change. So I think he thinks this about himself, but I
Mhm.
don't think he's our guy. I don't think he's the one who's going to die, personally.
No, it's probably going to be Ree. We all like her.
I know.
She's so to
What about
Violet.
Garrick with his, yeah, I know. What about Garrick with his rusted steel bucket? What do we think about that?
I don't know if I thought about it, to be honest. Like I was
Fair.
sort of like a bucket.
I mean,
like,
they throw all of them at you at once.
yeah, and I was kind of like, what would be the meaning of a bucket? Obviously, like the only thing I thought of was like something, his significance of carrying something, like you're carrying, because I think he's the one who transported the eggs because he was able to move them quickly, which is why I think he was so close to burnout too. And then, yeah, like he was carrying Imogen. We need to call him biceps from now on, like biceps, Garrick biceps.
So, like, literally the vehicle that's been rusted as a bucket, carrying
bucket.
people.
Carrying people,
Back and
carrying
forth. Okay.
secrets, because he really knows all.
Yeah.
Like he probably knows more about
Everything.
Xaden.
He knows a
Yeah,
lot.
He knows a lot. So
Yeah.
maybe that could be the symbolism of it.
What about
How
Dane
about you
getting
guys?
slapped across the face?
So funny. I belted out laughing in that moment because it was
Me too.
it was like every reader wanted to see that. Because so many people don't like Dane still. So they're like, that was perfect. That was so like,
I do not love Dane, but I do ship Dane and Sloane. I
oh
am
gosh,
excited to
yes,
read that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I
But anyway,
fully
back to the
support
slaps.
that.
Why do we think he got the slaps?
Because he was an idiot before. He made poor choices. He made some poor choices.
Okay, I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
he was just like, you fool. Don't be a fool.
You fool.
Yeah. And then the
All
wine.
right, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know the wine, the significance of the wine would be. She was excited about it, but I don't know. I don't know what no, I couldn't say anything about the wine. Do you guys have any theories of that? Because I'm now curious.
I saw something where since wine is red and later afterwards, this is where she starts like gushing out blood. It was supposed to represent that, like she was going
Yeah.
to be the next one to bleed out. So that was something that I saw that I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, that makes sense. I didn't think
Yeah.
about that when I was reading it, but it made sense. I do have a theory on Xaden's empty glass box. I think the empty glass box resembles his soul because it's gone. Yeah, but it can be filled.
Yes.
And Violet put something significant from her into the glass box. So obviously the soul can be filled. But I have this whole theory on what happens when you become Venom. And I think that just resembles that he doesn't have his soul, that it's his anymore. Now that it's
Yeah.
completely gone. With the Horcrux, obviously, he is
Mhm.
still his like tangible human soul, but
The Horcrux.
that's not a part of him.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm gonna have to side DM you about your theories on Venom because I'm genuinely
Okay.
curious. I'm like really like the moment you said that, I was like, I need to know. I need to know
no,
this.
it's this big thing, but I essentially think that they actually dedicate their souls to Malik, and that's why they can be, because there's no sort of dedication. They don't really talk
immortal.
about a temple, but that since they're immortal, I think it's not them dying. It's them giving up their soul in exchange for the power. So it's a literal dedication to Malik.
Makes so much sense.
So that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next question, final question. We're going to talk about this beauty right here, Quicksilver.
What?
So we're going to start our deep dive. We start our first deep dive episode very soon, and we've already released our initial overview episode. We love this book, and I know that you've read this book too. So I guess what would be your star rating and like pepper spice rating and general overview review of Quicksilver?
So I rated it based on listening to it on audio. I rated it a 4.5. However,
Okay.
I think it has room to be a 5-star read for me. But I need to physically read the book because I
That's fair.
know I need a reread for it because we read it actually for our book club, but I was rushed. So I was listening to it rushed, and that does impact it. It just does impact the
Oh, yeah.
experience.
It
It
For
does.
sure.
Especially in romantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Gotta take your time.
gotta take your time. And this book is pretty loaded. Like the magic
It's a
system,
long book.
I really liked the magic system in it. I wanted a little bit more because I'm like, okay, I feel like I had so many questions at the end of the book, but I'm really excited about the direction it's going.
Yeah.
like,
I'm excited for book 2.
I'm excited for book 2. I remember finishing it and being like, whoa, I have way more questions. What is she going to do? What is Kingfisher going? What is going to be his decision in all of this? Because they're on two opposite sides here, but they're also mates. And how do you navigate that? And so
Mhm.
I loved the magic system. I loved how there was just like, I love like the mixture of magic. It wasn't just like all fae or all human. Like they brought in a little bit of everything in terms of the magical systems with like the vampire piece. And so I'm like curious about that. I'm super curious about that. So I
Yeah.
kind of liked this like battle of that because I'm like, who would win? Who would win? Who
Who
is
would
the more
win?
powerful?
And also what's going on there? Because there's
Yeah.
clearly a lot that we don't
There's
know.
a lot more questions with
Yes.
the Vampire Kingdom, for sure.
100%.
Oh, yeah. A lot.
100%.
A lot of
And for her
questions.
to now have to lead, they left it on such a, it was a cliffhanger, but it was a very well-rounded cliffhanger. I remember reading it and being like, oh, I'm actually satisfied with that. It didn't,
The arc just, the story
Yes.
arc was complete in that
the
one.
story arc
and
was
then it's just gonna
complete.
pick up.
Yeah. But then you're still like, but I want to know what happens next. So I
Mhm.
really loved it. I thought
Would-
the side characters were awesome in this book in particular. Like
Yeah.
the care that they brought
Mhm.
was really, really good.
They were very fleshed out. Very well. Very fleshed out. Yeah.
Very
Agreed.
fleshed out.
Did you like Saris?
I did like Saris. I think she's going to come into her own a little bit more, but I did really like her. I thought she's powerful, but she almost doesn't know the true depths of her power. Like her confidence, I think it's there, but it's just missing that little piece to like get her to her full
Mhm.
potential. And so I'm excited for her character development.
Poor
as
girl
she-
was ripped from her life. Not that it was a very good life.
No,
Her life
but
wasn't that
she
great
was ripped
anyways.
from it.
Let's be
It was
honest.
terrible.
It was
She was
terrible.
definitely homeless, so it was definitely not good.
Yeah.
But she definitely was
then-
like trying to figure herself out for so much
Yeah.
of this book because she had so little information on what the hell was going on.
Yes. Talk about just like being put into a kingdom and you're like, wake up, you're like, what happened? And
You were supposed to be dead, and you like wake up and you're like not only not dead, but somebody singing across from you is also not human.
yes.
Just think about that. She's from a human world. So think about
Mhm.
that in our world. Like you just
Yeah.
fell through a portal of metal and you wake up after having bled out and you're like, what the is going on?
Yes. Like, where
What?
am I? What am I doing?
Yes, exactly.
And I loved her inner dialogue of the change from the human world to that Fey world. Like even when she talked about water,
Yes.
I can just have
Yes.
water whenever I want. Like kind of details. It really makes you
A
realize
bath
the life.
was like a weird concept.
Yeah, and like the life she truly lived before, which also makes me wonder why Carrion stayed in that world for so long with so many restrictions, knowing what his life could be like.
As a Netflix series or movie, which they're going to convert it to a movie. What are we thinking? I'm watching it. There's
I'm
no
going to
doubt.
watch it for sure. I feel like a Netflix series would be better than a movie only because you could have more time. Like you get maybe 8 episodes,
Right.
8 hours worth versus a movie, the max you're going to get is 3. Unless if they did a part 1, part
Right.
2. So I just feel like, are you going to be able to get the depth of the book in a movie? I don't know.
Are we
is
happy
fair.
that it's Netflix? Because there are other production companies. And
Well, yes and no. I think Netflix has the potential.
Mhm.
They have produced some really great shows, but I wonder if, I don't know. It's a toss up. I think they have the potential to do a really good job because they
yeah,
have
Black
done,
Mirror 7 is coming
Yeah.
out. Black
They've done
Mirror
some
is like top
yeah,
tier.
100%.
So
They've done some incredible shows and some incredible
they can
movies.
do it.
So I think they can do it. It
Right.
just all depends. They have to make sure that they get like Callie's vision. Like they have
She's a
to nail
producer,
that,
so I've read. Yeah.
which is great because I think if you miss just the slightest bit, it could really try.
And the fandom
yes.
will know
And I
because
hope that their
we will
casting
know.
is good. That's like the only thing. Like casting will make it or break it as well. And so they really got to get their casting spot on. Thank
Will
so
you
much for
join
having
us
me.
for Quicksilver?
I'm going to do a reread and then so I have it fresh in my mind and
Yeah.
I will absolutely join you guys. Yeah. I
Thank
would
you
love
again
to.
for being here.
Awesome.
We loved
Thank
having
you for
you.
having me. Thank you so much.
All right. So for this segment, we have Natalie with Nat Just Cakes with us tonight. And I'm so excited about this interview. Let me tell you, the fact that you combine like two of my greatest loves, books and baking, is just, it blows my mind. So welcome.
I'm Natalie. Nat Just Cake is my name throughout all of my social. It is my business name. And pretty much over the last 2 years, I have combined my love for cakes and books and began to make book cakes. And so that's what I do primarily through my business.
Awesome. And guys, if you haven't seen some of Natalie's cakes, first of all, I love the name, business name Nat Just Cakes, because that's an amazing play on words. But also the cakes that she makes, guys, I'm telling you, they've been shared by Rebecca Yarros. They've been shared by so many different authors that I've seen repost her cake. The one that you just made for Twilight, I just went back in time and my mind, I loved it. My mind was blown. You did the trees, like the forest. You had like the exact quote that everybody loves. I mean, the only way you could have made that one better is like, this is the skin of a killer, Bella. But we could do that for a future cake. So future
Yeah,
cake.
that's for the future. No worries.
Yeah.
There's lots more to come.
Oh, yeah. 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 And actually, I think you have a cake coming up that's dropping tomorrow for Zayden's birthday. Can you tell us anything about that? Or no? I just be on the
So,
spot.
It's no. I'm actually really excited about it. It was actually a shock to me because I didn't realize that Zayden's birthday was on the 31st. And someone on TikTok pointed it out to me. It was like, "Are you making a cake for, our shadow daddy?" And I was like, "Shadow daddy's birthday is at the end of the month." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Zayden." And somebody ended up pulling the actual part in the book, basically stating that that is his birthday, his actual birthday. So I was like, "Oh, well, let me put a poll up and see if people want me to do that." Over 200 votes to 13 that wanted me to stick with my belladonna cake, which is my original one that I was going to do next. So now I'm doing a Zayden birthday cake to drop tomorrow. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
everybody loves him.
Is it going to be chocolate because that's his favorite cake?
It is. No, it is chocolate. It is
Awesome.
chocolate. And I cut
Yes.
it in the video and everything. Had to make sure it
Okay.
was chocolate. The pictures with me eating the cake and everything. I'm probably going to
Okay,
go back
great.
and eat that after this interview. So
Yes. Amazing.
So how has the Empyrean series impacted you creatively?
creatively. So the Empyrean series, I think I have done probably with the Zayden cake, it'll be 4 cakes. Plus I've done multiple other desserts because I did the new romantics midnight release for Onyx Storm, did a bunch of desserts for that. I've done previous midnight releases for Iron Flame and did cookies for that. And so like, it's honestly just been kind of a whirlwind of me just trying to figure out what I want to do next to express my love for this story and kind of figure out the parts that should be involved with the designs to make sure it's representing it well. It's been a really good challenge and also just something that I can kind of express and be able to put it out there. Just like any other artist gets to put out their love for their, story, putting their fan art out. That's my way of doing it.
Which for the New Romantics release, you had cookies there too. And those were really good.
Oh, there were some funny ones. I don't know if you all saw them, but there were some
We
ones
didn't
that
make
said,
it.
like it was like save a dragon, ride a wing leader. Like
I like it. That's amazing.
And there were some really funny ones. There were some that were Dane's tears. There were
Oh,
like
that's
a
funny.
few that were there were some real funny ones in there that people were just like, as soon as they saw it, it was like, no, mine, it's mine. And so it's like,
Yeah, and I loved that cake specifically had like the throne chair on the Onyx
Yeah.
Storm cake. Like,
So I've tried to put the throne on most of them. So the first one had the throne because obviously my house, my chair, my woman. And then
Mhm.
the second one, I had to put the chair on there because it was like almost like symbolism with the venom behind the chair, kind of
Yes.
symbolizing them like this power struggle in the story because I didn't know what was going to happen in the story.
Right,
So
we
it
didn't know.
ended up being like, this was just kind of like a cake to represent what we expected to happen. So that that went on there. And then now with Zayden's birthday cake, it actually has a little throne on the top as well to represent him
Oh,
because he's now the
okay.
Duke. So
I can't wait to see it. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
exciting. The episode, you guys will all have already seen this cake by now because the episode will air after she releases this cake, but we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So we can't wait. Very exciting. All right. What was your favorite moment in Onyx Storm?
favorite moment for me, I feel like all the mic drop moments were my favorite. Like there were quite a few, but namely probably the Violet moment when she makes sure that she is pardoned before they end up finding out that she committed treason, and she ends up making sure that they're pardoned beforehand. So basically just be like, oh, sorry, can't do anything about it now. And then that part, as well as Zayden knocking Halden down and throwing him across the room because he touches Violet's hair, and then him going and basically pissing off Halden so that he can grab Violet, take her to his room. For my top threes.
All
Ooh,
good ones.
Halden. Yeah.
All yeah. Will Halden get a cookie with him in the basket? I think.
Oh, for sure. That's gonna be in my head now. Halden deserves a cookie or something, some type of dessert, just to like commemorate that moment.
Yeah. So, which scene hit you the hardest in this book?
My saddest moment, or the moment that hit me the hardest, was when Imogen was remembering her and Quinn like meeting each other and their friendship moment at the end. I don't know why that hit me the hardest. I genuinely thought that it would be something between the main characters, but for some reason that one, like, I just couldn't stop crying.
Aw.
And I did not expect that at all. And maybe that's the reason why it hit me the hardest, because I was like, oh, I didn't expect me to have that reaction to it.
You get a lot of moments in that chapter. You find out what Imogen's second signet is. You find out that, you see Quinn passing. You really see the moment between Imogen and Garrick. You get a lot in that point of view chapter. And it was really good. So thanks. That's awesome. Who was your favorite character in this novel? Because we got a lot of new people this time.
We did get a lot of new people. I don't know about you guys, but I was a bit confused
Lost.
in the beginning of this book.
I'm like, who
I
the
was
what?
like,
Huh?
yeah, and it was crazy because I remember me being like, I'm ready. Like I like brushed up on things. I remember everything. Like I'm good to go. And then I was like, who? What? And then I kept asking other friends, and they were like, no, same. Like I don't know what's happening either. I was like, okay, cool. And then I guess I read somewhere that they said that I guess like she started using certain people's like last names in this book.
Mhm.
And that's why it was like super confusing. But regardless, my favorite person in this book would be Riddick. Riddick. He honestly, like, I feel like he stepped up so much in this book. I love the fact that it's like you got to see a different side of him, of being the protective friend and being like just like the person who wanted to be involved in things in a serious way, but also still stayed true to his own character. I didn't really like waver from being the funny guy, but also was able to be, a good balance between the two. And I loved that. I was a huge fan. I was a huge fan before, but now I feel like it's like for sure, he's like my guy.
Right. Riddick was my favorite too. He had a new depth, a new level of complexity to his character in this
Exactly.
book. And yeah, he's still funny. He still cracks jokes, but then you see the layer of seriousness that goes to him and his loyalty, especially like his loyalty to Violet and how that started all the way from Fourth Wing with Liam kind of passing the baton to him, and how that just kind of rings true throughout. I love me some Riddick. So let's play Marry, Fuck, Kill. So which character would you marry, fuck, or kill? I'm going to let Danni pick for you.
Right, okay.
I'm ready.
I'm going to say tough, which by the way, I love your silver one shirt for Taryn.
Thanks. I was trying to be in character. Everyone's shirt.
I like it.
and I-
Love it.
Did that say World Tour on it? That's
It does.
amazing.
It says-
I love it. Okay, 3 characters. So because of Zayden's birthday being tomorrow, he's gonna have to be on there. So naturally, Zayden. Let's go Bodhi. There's Bodhi and Eric.
So I would say I love Zayden. I would definitely I'd probably
Okay.
marry him only because
Fair.
it's one of those where it's like, you just seem like you'd probably be a great lay, but like you just seem like you'd be just a grumpy ass like person to be with. Over time, I'd be like, all right, I need you to stop sulking.
Stop being
Fine. Let's
brooding.
move forward. Like, exactly. Stop brooding. Let's move forward. And you said Bodhi. I would say marry Eric, because he just seems like just seems loyal. He seems like a very upstanding guy. Like he'd be able to freaking do my taxes and, take care of shit around the house, and I'd be happy. And then Bodhi, I don't even know if he's like been in now full force or anything. So
Dang, that's cold. Check Bodhi out like that. Okay. All right. All right. You give us 3.
So Sawyer, I have to give you Xaden as well. And Garrett.
This is diabolical. Michelle, you go first.
And you have to give reasons as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, so I would fuck Xaden for the same reasons. He's too broody. He's too,
You're like,
so
he's
much
great for Violet.
baggage. Just so much yeah, exactly. I love him for Violet, not for anyone else. He has way too much baggage. I could not. But yes, like, he's packing. So,
Passionate.
yeah.
He knows what he's doing. Yes.
Yeah. I would marry Garrick because of his loyalty, and he's always around and supportive, and he's funny too. So I think he would be just kind of a good partner to have. And then Sawyer. Sawyer's been such a, like, I know he had his character arc this story, but it was like so minor. Like, he's like, I don't dislike Sawyer. He's just kind of like a mid character to me.
I definitely have thoughts about Sawyer.
Okay.
That I'd love to talk to you guys about later, but I have
Ooh,
thoughts about him, like
Okay.
theories and stuff. But
Do we think him and Jasenia are endgame?
I do. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, she lost the last
Rebecca
one.
Yarros seems like she was like,
Yeah, she lost Liam.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Let's give her something.
Poor girl's been through it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same as you, Michelle, but I'm going to swap who I'm going to, yeah. So I'm going to marry Xaden. And I know he's got some baggage. I also feel like,
I can fix him.
he's a Duke of Tyrandor. No, I can't fix him because there's no fixing that. But I do
just
think
being
that,
realistic.
yeah, he definitely, something's going on. But I feel like at the end of the day, he's super loyal. So I don't know. We'd have to work it out. But also it's weird because like he's so endgame with Violet that even saying that out loud feels like wrong somehow. But these characters aren't real, so I'll be okay. Anyway, then fuck Garrick. And then I have to kill off Sawyer too. I don't want to.
Oh my
But I feel like I
gosh.
don't have any other choice here. It's not because I want to, because I really truly don't. I was really tough. That was tough because I have to say, I was almost like kill Xaden, marry Sawyer, I almost switched those, and I really couldn't commit. So I would have to say that was one of the toughest ones that we've done so far. Yeah.
All right.
It's
Yay.
impossible
Well,
choice here.
I'm glad to be the
Yeah. All right. What do you think the gifts mean significant wise? Do you think they're significant? If so, what are your thoughts on that?
honestly, like I don't feel like I can't really say for a lot of the other ones. I do think that Violet does have a big significance, and there's like obviously I've gone through the rabbit hole of all the different theories and things like that, but I remember there's like a few of them that kind of stand out, and one of them was the fact that throughout the whole book, Xaden and Violet kind of keep referring to each other as each other's like true north. And she keeps talking about how the compass was broken and the fact that like at the end, he's not there. She can't remember. She doesn't know where he's at. And she, there's a lot of theories that kind of predict that she's going to go on this like journey to basically go find her husband. And so with that, I feel like the compass is going to come into play to be able to kind of guide her in that direction, because obviously the gods have something to do with every aspect of that. But with the other stuff, it's kind of hard for me to like have to believe that they have something to do with that, because like Traeger's death is just nothing that I can like ever be like, oh yeah, that was for a reason. It was like, nah, I just feel like he died. It was so out of pocket, so out of what I would have believed was going to happen when they got there. And probably like the person I expected to die last out of everybody that went in that group. You know what I mean?
Like we just got
'Cause
to
I feel
know
like,
him.
well, that was it. I feel like it was like if there was more time with him having gotten to know Kat, or like us to get more of a glimpse in their relationship and kind of get attached more, like there would be more of a reason for him to die. I feel like how Liam, we got to know him. His death was significant. There was like a significance for like killing him off. I feel like Traeger's death was just like, she's finally getting over Xaden. She's finally moving on. She's like, she's finding her
she finally has
happiness.
somebody. Mhm.
Yeah. And then it's like, you just murdered him.
Yeah.
No
Why?
happiness for you,
What was the
Kat.
point
Becca's
of
like,
that?
I know,
Yeah.
poor
And I'm just
Kat.
like wondering like where that's going to go. Like, I really do hope that like she gets a love interest or something happens for her, because that shit just broke me. I was like, damn, like you can't get the main guy, can't get the side guy, and anybody.
I know.
Yeah,
poor
poor
Kat. I
Kat.
really like Kat as a character, actually. I like her a lot. So for her, yeah, it's rough.
Okay.
Do we like broccoli? Are we team broccoli? My question.
Love
Do we?
broccoli. Love broccoli. Do you guys like broccoli?
Of
I
course.
love broccoli.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's not to
I'm wondering
like?
where he went. It was like he was there for like a little while, and then I'm like, I wonder if he's with like hanging out with the dragons.
He's with
He's
Drake.
just like this.
Oh.
She can
Yeah.
confirm that
Okay.
Drake.
she's with Drake, and so he's safe. No worries.
Okay.
About broccoli.
Everybody was freaking out about that on the Onyx Storm
Yeah,
tour. They're
because
like, "You gave us a kitten and then nothing."
and he disappeared. And you're in an area with dragons. So it's not like we're like in a safe space. It's like we're in a place where people are getting
Yeah, did he
murdered
get
and you have a kitten just
smushed,
roaming around.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are your theories on book 4? So what's gonna happen next? What do you think?
Wow, book 4. So back to like the whole Sawyer thing.
Yeah.
So
Oh, boy.
genuinely, like so like my own personal theory, which I don't have very many of those. I'm not somebody who really like predicts things. I like to just go into books and be like,
For the vibes, right?
show
Here
me
for
what
the
we're
vibes.
doing. I don't know where we're going. I was like, I don't know about you guys. I'm totally not somebody who tries to make up theories because I'll just disappoint myself. But with Sawyer, I genuinely feel like it's like how Riddick basically stepped up this book because the last like 2 books, I feel like Rhiannon was kind of the main friend. Like she was the friend who was like, that was Violet's chick. Like that was the one who was there with her all the time. And then everybody else, like Sawyer and Riddick, were basically like part of the friend group. But like as an individual friend to her, they really weren't like with her by themselves and acting like as if they are her friend. Riddick stepped up in this book. So I kind of feel like it's only suitable for Sawyer to step up in the next book, for him to kind of have his shining moment so that by the time we get to the 5th book, it kind of like each one of them has established their friendship with Violet and its significance and who they are in her life. And so like
Dang.
that's my prediction that he's going to step up and be like, and be more of a main character, especially now because he can like relate to her and on the, like struggling with his and things like that in a way that like the other 2 really couldn't understand her with. So I really do think that he's going to be that friend to her and he's going to be more of the center focused friend in the next book.
Yeah, he has
I
that
love that.
empathy now because he's gone through it
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. And then there was like a few different people that like different theories that were really interesting. Arik basically predicted that Xaden and Violet would get married in the temple. And that's why he had her protect the temple. So then they ended up going and like the priestess, I think it was, like owed Xaden a favor. And she's the one who signed the paperwork at the end of the book. So it's going to be basically like something to do with maybe her becoming a goddess or something like that. And I was like, well, I guess we'll see. My only one is really the Sawyer thing, but I don't really know about the other stuff. But
Yeah,
do
there's a
you
lot
guys
to
have
it.
any theories?
Oh God, we have hours and hours
Yeah.
for this book. We have a lot going on. I think one of my favorite, more recent theories talks about who, and maybe this is a question for you. Rebecca Yarros in her interview said that there's only one person that can train Violet's second signet. We kind of debate who that person could be.
Okay.
Some have said Berwyn, but I don't see a Venom doing that. I think it's Xaden who's going to be
I would think it's
the
Xaden.
one teacher that's going to help her, and that's how they're going to talk throughout book 4. And I wonder if we're going to have like multiple points of view, because I would love to have, I don't know if you would, but I would love to have like a Violet for most of it and like pit, parts of Xaden throughout. So do you think that Xaden and Violet are going to be split throughout book 4?
Honestly, like I think that at least like half of the book that she's gonna be like kind of going after him. It's weird because like and I know that there's probably been a few people that have made this comparison, but I don't know if you guys have ever read the Vampire Academy or like any of that spin-off series, like a YA series. But there's like a lot of comparisons when the end of Iron Flame came out. There was a bunch of comparisons to that book series. And in that book series, like the guy basically turns into like a vampire. He basically turns into a villain. And then she goes on this whole journey to go find him and like basically hunts him down throughout it. And throughout half of the book, they're not together. And then the other half, it's like her kind of trying to bring him back from the depths or whatever. And so I kind of feel like it's going to be one of those things where it's like she, obviously not the same, but it's going to be kind of following that pattern where it's half the book of her kind of trekking and trying to like maybe, I don't know, like what is it? Like trying to hunt him down. I don't want to say hunt him down, trying to like sleuth or find clues to where he's at so that she can be able to find him and then bring him back to maybe the temple or wherever it is to try to bring the cure. Or maybe it's going to be half of it her going to get the cure and then the other half trying to go find him. And then at the end, we end up getting them together. I'm hoping not, because I don't really want her to be away from him that whole time.
Why do you think Imogen wiped her memories for 12 hours?
Oh man,
That's an off the cuff question. So
I feel like part of it has to do with the fact that, like, obviously there are people like Dane who can, who can try to get the images from her or whatever. And maybe it's kind of like to make sure that she doesn't have any, like, there's no like liability on her. Like, it's like you can't remember it, so you can't really be tortured or, anything taken away from you, because literally you know nothing. And so maybe that's something that they kind of like concocted together, where it was like, hey, I'm going to help you escape, and we're going to make sure that I'm married to you so that I can get, your territory and everything is safe here. But, I'm going to make sure that, and he's also in the same like breath trying to make sure that she's safe while he's gone. So I feel like it has more to do with just protecting her while he's gone and making sure that nobody can like torture it out of her or try to, manipulate it out of her or anything like that. 'Cause it's like, you literally know nothing.
Michelle, tell her your theory that had me completely
Ooh, I
wrong.
want to hear it.
Okay, so part of my theory, or a theory that I have, is Imogen wiped Violet's mind, but she also wiped Xaden's mind of all memories of Violet, because he is now a maven, right? He's like upper level, which means he's like fully turned, and he doesn't want her to go and find him and see someone that doesn't remember who he is. So because
Okay.
there's no cure, like the dragons have said, there's no cure, there's no turning back. He's like full on, like, and I don't think he's fully evil, but he's like fully turned. So that's like one theory that I have, that it's for her protection, to your point, but it's because there's another level to it, that Xaden is actually like, he now doesn't entirely recall parts of her. But I think that would be heartbreaking. I don't necessarily want
Yeah,
it, but that was just
so
a thought that
bad.
I had. Like, what if she's searching for him, and like she then has to remind him who she is, and that's why like his soul is in that ring. So once she like parts of his like a Horcrux essentially. So once like he brings her back, then like it all comes back, and book 5 it's like happily ever after. But that's like part of what I think
Interesting.
happened in book 4. I think it's a long shot, but I think it's a possibility as well.
That's interesting. I didn't think I've heard anything like that as far as like a theory goes. I did hear someone say about how like throughout the books he refers to Tyrandor as a he, and then at the end when he says it's yours, that it's more so referring to like his heart is for her, and that there's like a part of it that's like being like held away for basically her to like, that's what like holding his humanity is the part that he's given to her or something like that. That was like blessed by like the goddess when they got married, and like that's kind of what she's going to use to bring him back. And but I've never heard of like somebody being like that they had both their memories wiped or anything remotely having to do with that. So I'm really interested to see if that actually is true.
Don't
would
want
be
it to
wild.
be.
I hope not. I mean, that sounds heartbreaking. I feel like it's like we're already gonna get them away from each other, and it's like, oh, we don't remember one another, and it's like, oh,
That would definitely, like, that first conversation where she's like, say she would be relieved to see him, and he's like, who the fuck are you? That
oh my
would be
gosh.
devastating.
Yeah.
No, why do you think like this, Michelle?
Because
That's what asked her
I
the first time. I was
read,
like, what is this?
so all of these traumatic things happen into these fictional people. So it does have to happen to me. That's exactly why I read.
This is fair. Yes.
Oh,
So
I'm
speaking,
like really hoping it's not that.
Yeah, all of us are.
so
But I can also see why he would choose to do that, because of his character type of making a choice, like them talking about it and making a choice that they're both going to wipe memories, because Imogen tells her she did what she asked. So I wonder if they were to make that decision, I feel like Violet would be consenting to that too, and it would just be like heartbreaking that she would
I
understand why he would need to do it too.
I absolutely
take away
believe
a
that like
level of-
she knew what was happening. Like she
Oh yeah.
like obviously
Mhm.
consented to whatever it was. I do wonder because they did say something about Tyrion, like he was like he's recovering, and she was like, recovering from what? And so I'm wondering if maybe they severed the freaking the mating bond between him and Sigale, because I mean, there if Xaden's gone and they can't be away from each other for super long, like how is that gonna work unless they broke the the bond. And somebody pointed out
Yeah.
that like maybe Andarna, because she was able to break the bond, it was kind of only happened just to like show that the bonds can be broken.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and then also, like, on that same note, if they're no longer tied, how does he dreamwalk into her mind again since they don't have that bond anymore, if that's true? And who is her teacher then? Who teaches her signet? Or has he figured out a way to kind of master what his master on the Venom side can do? Because obviously that guy can dreamwalk. Maybe we're gonna see some kind of evolution there with that.
if he can like obviously communicate like mentally, like he can read minds and stuff like that. And we've already seen that Theophany, still held her signet into being, turning Venom. Then wouldn't it be kind of logical for them to have that bond through that, because she can go through it. It's like what is it? And it's an extension of that same signet that they both have. So I feel like that would probably be the reason why they could still communicate through a dream, would be because he can still use that signet that he had in life. And then she can also walk through dreams, so they can mentally communicate.
Through his signet, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I started thinking about that recently. And that's what's so captivating about this series though, is like you think you're done with it and then you're like doing dishes one day and you're like, "Oh, wait,
Yeah.
maybe that." You know what I mean? And you're like, "What the what?" And you're just like have this moment where you like start to piece things together and it could be absolutely nothing and then you're like, "Well, maybe it's something. What's there?" These Easter eggs and like the way that Rebecca Yarros, weaves this Empyrean series web and the fact that it's the Empyrean series and not the writer's series. There's so much about that too, and it's really interesting. So I want to ask on that note, where are we going geographically in book 4?
I have no idea. That would probably be the one question that I would have no inkling of where we're going. I honestly, geographically in real life, I struggle as a human being. So I feel like it's like having to do with fictional world. I'm so that person that has to like continuously go and look at the map over and over, because I will be like, where are we? What just happened? Where I thought this was near here. No, that's over there. So I genuinely
Yeah.
have no idea. Do you guys have any ideas?
I just want to say on that note, we spent a good deal of time talking about how frustrated we were that there was not an updated map in this book.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were like, where the fuck are we? Like,
Where's the
what?
map?
And I'm going back. It's the freaking map, And I hope Rebecca
She
gives
was on
us
a really, really tight schedule for this book. It was probably by the time she was
Yeah,
done, it was
and
like the end.
Well,
and she's like, I'm done.
Right. And I think she wanted to just protect spoilers as well, because that's, if she includes the aisles,
Okay.
then that would be like a clear spoiler of where we're going. And unfortunately, with this book release, there were a lot of people that got their hands on the book before its release date, and that ruined it for her, which is awful, but it also ruined it for other people on social media. From my understanding, she did it that way. I would eliminate any spoilers, but I would have liked a map in the middle, maybe, like after we realized, oh, we're going to the aisles, and maybe just like had like a centerfold, like a folds out from the middle.
something.
Actually,
Yeah.
a good idea.
Something.
That's actually a really good idea.
Or even
Like,
something on her website, like later on, she releases it after the book and is like, here's your updated map. Go to my website. I just
That would make
released
sense.
the latest map or something like that. That'll be in book 4. Maybe she'll do that. As far as locations, Michelle, take it away. Where do we think we're going in book 4?
I definitely think that we're gonna go northwest, which is like the Emerald Sea, because there's a couple of references, especially with Dane. That's where the pirates are. He has like this whole like paragraph talking about how he was obsessed with pirates in the Emerald Sea and how everyone dies when they go travel there. And that left a big question mark. I definitely think we're going there at some point in time. I'm thinking this next book, just because in Iron Flame, they mention a couple times that they're going about the Isles, and here we are in Onyx Storm, we went to the Isles. So I think that was her kind of dropping where we're going to go. But Violet, it's going to be hard with Violet because now she's the Duchess of Tyrandor, or the Duchess of Erasia. She has to stay put for a large portion of time due to, political matters and whatnot. But yeah, that's what we think. Right, Danny? Do you have something
And
you want to
also,
add?
I thought maybe we'd go to the Barrens.
Or at least
Okay.
have Zayden's
I
perspective of the Barons. I would like that. Like if we switch POVs and Zayden's
Mhm.
perspective of that.
Well, I do think that if they're separated for a long time, I do think that she'll do some type of like, even if it's a small glimpse into his mind or whichever, it would be like, she'll do like small glimpses in time. Kind of like, you guys have read Throne of Glass, right?
Mhm.
when Dorian gets
Mhm.
when he gets possessed, and then she does like small POVs of him like in his like possession and stuff like that, and then you kind of go back. I feel like it would be kind of like that. You get like the dark moments of Xaden and like where his mind is at, and then it'll kind of like flip back and forth. I'm really hoping that they don't stay separated for super long, but even if, they do you think that Violet would stay away and stay in Eurasia, or she would just be like,
Oh,
"No, I'm going.
no.
I gotta go."
She doesn't
No.
care about rules.
Yeah,
If
that's
any,
what I thought
yeah.
when you were like, "He's gonna just stay there." I was like,
No, she'll have to.
She might initiate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she might, because she'll have, whatever duchesses do, but ultimately she's gonna say, fuck you guys, I'm gonna go find my man's, and go and off on her little adventure to find him. And
I'm really excited for like where's my husband moment.
right,
Right? All the language is now going to shift to wife and husband. So that's going to be
Mhm.
really exciting to see. Natalie, do you have an idea of where the soul goes once you turn, where parts of it go when you have these different levels?
I honestly don't, but that's like kind of the whole idea that the soul goes somewhere when you turn and everything. That's kind of where that one theory that I was talking about that he says like it's yours, and then like towards the end when like he's talking to Scale and he's like, "Well, do you think she'll do it?" And he's like, that she's like, "Oh, I don't think that I think she says something along the lines of like, "I don't think that she's gonna do it," or whatever, and he's like, she'll agree. I think that he does maybe give her a part of his soul, so that's kind of like to make sure that he doesn't turn fully. But honestly, like outside of that, like I don't really know where the soul would go. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys have a theory towards that?
Michelle has another theory. This one is not as
Not as
morbid
devastating.
as the other one.
So, because every god has like they have a temple, right? And they have like a priest or priestess, and there's like this whole dedication process that essentially they get like power through the god or goddess. I think they're actually dedicating their souls to Malik, and that's how they like live eternally. They have like an extended lifespan because their souls already like in the underworld or wherever, so there's nothing left to take. So I think that's why men are immortal, and it's like a dedication process to Malik because so that's kind of what I think, because them just drawing power and being immortal, I don't know, there has to be a dedication. It feels like
explanation.
Yeah.
Now, to that point, do you feel like Malik is evil, or do you feel like he's just God that's just exists?
I think the pantheon's just right. They're just gods that are self-serving in a way. If you've read like any sort of, I don't know if you read like the Serpents and the Wings of Night series.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you read the Six Scorched Roses, the small novella in between?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
Read it.
Yeah, you need to read it. It's so good.
Really
But you
good.
get a bigger glimpse in like the personality of certain gods, and basically like they're self-serving in a way, and they just do things for themselves. And I don't think Malik is bad. He's just the god of death, essentially. And
Okay.
death is just a process of life, but in dedicating your soul, you're kind of like skipping a part of life, right? If your soul's already gone, then there's your body's still on this earth. There's nothing to die at that point in time.
Ooh, I do have one more question. Do you guys
Okay.
feel like we're gonna meet them, like
The gods,
the gods? Like, do you feel like it's just gonna be the same, like kind of vague understanding of who they are, kind of like like a lot of stories do that, where they'll just like vaguely use them as like a context of being like, okay, this is like the people this is the reason behind our traditions, this is the reason behind what we do, but we never really meet them. Do you feel like in this series we meet?
I think that would be a little bit, because the dragons viewed themselves as gods, right? Like higher than the human gods. I think that would be conflicting in a way.
That's fair. I think too, my thought is like it'd be very tricky to introduce the gods and goddesses at this point, but I don't know if that's also why she was setting us up with so much more information about them this book, to maybe lead into some kind of meeting with one of them in the future books. But to Michelle's point, I think it would be very difficult to how that would play out, but I don't put it past Rebecca to try. If she wants to do it, she'll make it happen.
It might be an interesting thing to also like, if she chose to go in the direction of like there are no cures for venin, but for Violet to find some way to be able to contact Malik or one of the gods to basically be able, because that's not like there's no cures on Earth, like there's no cures within their realm of thinking or their capabilities, but to be able to like go beyond that and be like, well, I somehow was able to summon the gods or make a deal with the gods or something to be
Oh,
able
yeah.
to bring my,
I for sure think that's why they got married in a Temple of Dune, because like Dune requires a lifetime of dedication, and in that sort of way, he's able to preserve, like we've talked about, preserve his soul because there's that connection of Dune. And since their marriage would be blessed by Dune, I think having her, that goddess, be able to, you know, not meddle, but be able to have more of a tangible like relationship with them in a way, would help benefit whether he's able to have control.
I think there has to be something to the fact that the only two other gods that you can dedicate a lifelong dedication to are the goddess of war or of love, has some very big significance. And I don't think we know that just yet, what that means or what that looks like. Because there has to be a clear reason why Violet's parents were so interested in dedicating her partially to Dune, and all of the elements to that have to have somewhere where that's going to like button up in the story and where that's all going to like kind of tie together. I really loved our conversation tonight. I would love to know if you could ever make cookies for us, because I would love to see some of your designs, and I'll have to put an order in to see what you can make of our logo and stuff. I think it'd be really, really fun.
Sure. I was like, message
Yeah.
me. We'll have conversation.
Okay, yes, we will.
But yeah,
Because I would
for
love to
sure.
see. I would love to see that as a cookie form. That would be amazing. You had like a big giveaway going on. How has that been going?
Oh, it's been going well. So I don't know if you know the logistics behind the whole giveaway. Essentially,
Not fully.
and this is to throw just all the praise to Rebecca Yarros, because I genuinely feel like her reposting and stuff, I feel like is one of the big reasons why my following has just gone off the deep end, which is basically in December, I hit 5,000 followers, which was like a really big moment. And I basically was like doing a giveaway. Once I hit 5,000 followers, I was going to do a build your own book cake giveaway where you basically design your own book cake, whoever gets chosen. And I went ahead and was like, oh, like I'll do one giveaway every 1,000 followers until I hit 10,000 followers, because it had taken me like 6 months to like almost a year to hit an extra 1,000. So I was like, okay, it's going to be a while. About 2 weeks
What are
after
you at
I
now?
did that, I
It was like
almost 40.
39,000.
So
Yeah.
39,
Oh my
almost
God.
40. Yeah. And
Holy
that
cow.
was in December. And then 2 weeks later, I hit 10,000. And so I literally
Oh my
like
God.
kind of put my foot in my mouth. And
Oh,
so I
no.
kind of had to, yeah. So I was like one giveaway for 1,000 every 1,000 until I had 10,000. And so I wanted to keep my word. So I've been doing one giveaway per 1,000 so basically 5 giveaways. So I'm on the 3rd right now. And then this month, or what is this? April will be 4th, and then May will be 5th. And then, but yeah,
That's crazy.
it's going to be, yeah. So I'm picking
That's
my winner
amazing.
tomorrow for my 3rd one. And I don't know. It's been a very big blessing and just a really like just crazy experience, this whole thing. Like going from, I'm 5,000 in December to 39
that's wild.
in
That's
March.
insane.
Yeah.
How has that impacted your business? How is that like? Yeah, huh?
It's impacted it like just exponentially. I've gotten to obviously work with so many amazing companies. I've gotten to do collaborations with different people. I've gotten to like make different just connections with all different types of people. Clearly, guys.
Yeah.
Just making connections with all types of people. And then it's kind of let me kind of go into the realm of work that I want to start working. So I just recently changed my policies and I'm doing just fondant and chocolate ganache cakes now, which are great. I've gotten a chance to now I'm taking my orders in smaller increments and doing them in 3-month increments instead of like all at once. Like it's kind of like evolving slowly but surely, kind of figuring out what works best for me and like just being able to handle it all.
Yeah.
So it's been really, really great. But I didn't even mention with the whole Rebecca Yarros thing, the thing I was saying was her reposting. She's reposted my cake, my Iron Flame and Fourth Wing cake about 3 times now. The 3rd time that she put it on her story, it was on the heels of, I think I had posted a Megan Quinn cake that got a lot of traction, but then her cake, I guess, like boosted it. And then it started like making people, I guess, check my page. And I had a specific video posted up that had a compilation of all my different book cakes. And then that just took off and people started sharing it everywhere. And that video just hit 3 million. So
Wow.
now that's
my
kind of
gosh.
the reason why people started finding out that my page existed and that like that
Yeah.
was happening. And so yeah, it's been a crazy,
exciting.
What a
Crazy
whirlwind.
few
Yeah.
months.
As an Orlando local, we love that. That's awesome. And we're, it's tough. It's really hard to grow. It's hard to get people to see what you're doing. It takes a lot of time. It takes that grind to do that. And for Rebecca to notice you and put that out there multiple times is such a cool thing.
It's insane. Like her just even recognizing it the first time and then it happening multiple times it's just been like insane. I just found out she's coming to Orlando. In
yeah.
October.
Hollywood Studios, I
Yeah.
believe.
Are you guys
Yeah.
going to that? Are you guys
Uh,
going to try to go to that?
We might. I don't know yet if we're going to that just yet, but we did see that it got announced. I reached out to them
you
and they
did?
said that they're still making decisions on final additional media who will go. So
Mhm.
yes, we'll find out if we get picked up for that. I know the event itself is completely sold out. As soon as Rebecca posted it, same like hour later, it was gone.
I
All the
would
tickets
love
were
to
gone.
just be like, hey, so can I gift her a cake? Can I just bring a cake? Like, is that cool? Like, I'll just bring
You should
something
reach
or something.
out.
Then you guys can just
You should.
I-
You should reach
yeah.
out to her and be like, "Hey,
I-
you posted my cakes. Can I bring you one?" I'm sure she would. I 1,000%
should do
think
it.
she would.
I think I'll
Yeah, you
try
should.
it.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for being on the show with us. We had a wonderful time. It was really, really cool. Yeah, to get to know you and to talk to you. And we can attest that your cakes are actually delicious. They don't just look pretty because
Yes.
we got to meet you at the Onyx Storm midnight release party, and we can attest that she makes excellent cookies and cakes. So the hype is real, and we couldn't be more proud to be part of your Lander community and have you on our show. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Yes,
you
thank
so
you.
much for having me. I'm just, honest to goodness, you guys have officially brought me into the podcast world. I've never been on a podcast before. So thank you for having me. I'd love to do this again. I love I love what you're doing. So keep doing it, guys.
Oh,
Awesome.
thank you.
I was just going to ask you, we are about to start our deep dive coverage of Quicksilver, and would you want to come back on to talk all things Sarah Kingfisher, Carry On, all the good stuff before we completely
Sure.
conclude that coverage? Okay. We'll reach
Awesome.
out to you
I'm
then.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you, Natalie.
Before we wrap up, let's talk about what's coming up next in Book Club After Dark.
This week, we are going to continue our deep dive coverage and really get more into the nitty gritty of Quicksilver by Callie Hart. So, of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button to hear more of our exciting book talk. We're looking forward to dissecting this novel with you. Also, make sure that you have read on Callie Hart's website. She has access to Kingfisher point of view chapters. Make sure that you read those because the book starts out with some of that juicy content right out of the gate. So there you go.
Don't forget, we want to hear if you have thoughts on Onyx Storm, Quicksilver, or suggestions for future reads. Drop a comment below or message us on one of our social media platforms at Book Club After Dark Pod. Show us your fan art, theories, or anything bookish you'd like to share.
You can also visit our website, bookclubafterdark.co, to stay up to date on our cozy content and check out our merch.
That's all for tonight. Sleep tight, night owls. Until next time, happy reading.